Well, slap my ass and call me Samantha. We're back to basics on Warhammer 2, which means we're playing vanilla. I know I've been doing a lot of mod content recently, but today it is a strictly vanilla tournament. We're going back to what we know best, and it looks like we're starting off with High Elves and Lizardmen. So Zach B. Sane on one side, RTK Prussian Prince on the other. Both storied tournament players. Prussian Prince has been around for like a decade, man. He's been playing competitive Total War for a really long time, and this should be quite the show. On the other side of the bracket, we have Exploding Hamster and A-Move Hacker. Should be a good time today, and a big shout out to Tank, who is sponsoring the stream today. He's an awesome dude. He's donated a lot to the channel before, and I want to give a big shout out to him because it's super appreciated. Anyone who's willing to shell out any money whatsoever to make these kind of things happen, to support what I do, what I love, really appreciate it. So big shout out to him. Thank you so much, man. So we're starting on Iron Sand Desert. In this one, looks like it's going to be High Elves and Lizardmen, Azure, and Children of the Old Ones. And I have been considering doing stuff like Trials of Tzeentch and some other tournaments as well. I have some ideas. For this one, I wanted to get back to what we know and love, but I think maybe the next one will go outside the box a little bit more and work on maybe a Trials of Tzeentch tournament. I've been considering, I was talking to Exploding Hamster yesterday, we talked about doing a no single entity monsters tournament, which from a viewer perspective could be good and bad. It means less crazy monsters, less crazy over the top units, but the benefit to it would be that, you know, don't have to worry so much about the terror. We'd have longer battles and it'd be more micro intensive, more focused on actual troop maneuvering, other than having a 2,500 gold monster that just murders everything in sight. So I think there's good and bad to it, but I'd be curious what you guys have to think about that kind of thing. It's best of 3 in the semifinals and then best of 5 finals. So only 4 players in this tournament. Shouldn't be too long, maybe 2.5, 3 hours today is what's on the docket. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this very dreary, overcast Saturday afternoon.
Fortune favors the infamous.
Thank you for the donation, my friend. Let's check out donation history real quick, and then we'll get things underway, shall we? Humanistin Hamster, $5. All hail the mighty hamster indeed. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for the support. All right. Zach and Prussian Prince, you guys are ready? Do it. Let's get right into the action, baby. So, Lizardmen versus High Elves. A lot of ways to play this. One of the units that I think is kind of underrated from I think one of the most memed units we've seen for the Azure since launch are the White Lions. White Lions did get a massive buff in one of the more recent patches, and I think they're actually a really strong front line against Saurus. They get their charge bonus off, and they're going to do well in that matchup for sure. Obviously, there are going to be plenty of dinos. Obviously, we might see some Star Dragon action, that kind of thing. And I'll be very curious to see what kind of builds we go for here. Now remember, if we weren't going for single entity monsters in this tournament, that would get really crazy. I don't know if we'd be seeing much Lizardmen at all, or High Elves for that matter. High Elves have been leaning on the crutch of Valerial or Teclis and that Star Dragon for a super long time. Might throw a wrench in their plan in a tournament where there were no single entity monsters, but again, it's not what we're doing today. So, Iron Sand Desert, wide open map here. And that could be beneficial if you're the High Elves. Now, the good thing with no jungle and no forest on the map is that the dinos don't have to worry about fighting in there and losing a lot of their stats. But if you're talking Sisters of Avalorn and the armor-piercing inherent in their range potential, then this could be a little bit of an awkward situation. If you're the Children of the Old Ones here, your dinos can get torn up by a net combo and 2 or 3 volleys from Sisters of Avalorn super quick. And we are about to see the builds now. Yes, indeed. And we do have a Star Dragon. So, it's Teclis and a Star Dragon. He'll be moving his stuff around a lot. RTK Prussian Prince on the Azure side. That is one scary single entity monster. right here. 60 melee attack, flaming damage, 580 weapon strength, armor piercing. That thing can control the skies and the ground if you cycle charge appropriately with it. And of course, you'll have nets and kindle flame to set up all that DPS. Silver and Guard are another unit that were just introduced in the most recent DLC. And they are also a very strong component against the Children of the Old One. So, really high melee defense with martial mastery, or martial prowess rather. Their melee defense is going to go up past 50. They've got decent armor piercing, although that was nerfed a little bit in the most recent patch. And they hold the line super well against Saurus. They're actually super cost effective, super cost efficient against the front line. As their spearmen, 2 silver helms, a metal caster, Jest with looks like Plague of Rust. And Teclis, of course, has his Net of Ammontok, Enfeebling Foe, and Regrowth. No Flaming Sword of Ruin for the additional flaming damage, but I'm not sure he's gonna need it. That extra spellcaster with Plague of Rust gonna lower the armor of things even more and make it so that that Star Dragon deals even more damage with the breath attacks and the duels. On the other side, Zach B. Sane rocking a Saurus Old Blood on a Carnosaur, backed up by 2 Cold One Riders. We got Skink Cohort Javelins, Red Crested Skinks, front line of them, Cohort of Sotek on the other side with their Refuse to Die ability, and we have some Sacred Croxagors, the Boxagors. Boxing it up here like Muhammad Ali. I love this model, dude. This is one of the coolest additions I've seen from something that didn't exist in the army book. Straight Old Ones tech. Look at those things, man. Put you down with a quick right hook. Got a Skink Priest of the Lore of Beasts in the center, Flock of Doom, Transformation of Kadon, and 2 more Cold One Riders out on this flank as well. So a Skink front line, lot of heavy cav, 4 units of Cold One Riders, Sacred Boxagors, and a Saurus Old Blood with Swiftness of Itzel. And actually, no, that's Krokgar's ability. This will be the ward save. So, looking at numbers here, we've got 840 allies and 968 enemies. So High Elves are a little bit outnumbered at this point. But I'm not sure that Star Dragon cares a whole lot. And here we go. Zach B. Sane's gonna be moving up from his side. High Elves moving up. They don't have a lot of range damage right now. Plague of Rust will certainly help with that. Minus armor is gonna be nice, and the Bolt Thrower will certainly help as well. For sniping out the dinos and the cavalry. Firing into the Skink Cohort right now, which is probably not the correct target if you want to get some value out of those bad boys. Yeah, Plague of Rust, 3 archers firing in. Alongside that, could rack up some serious damage against the high-value single entities. And of course, there is net as well. Now, I don't really recommend netting the Carnosaur if you're going to shoot it up with the archers. They like to shrug a lot. They like to get shuttered by their animations a lot, and they'll dodge a lot of the incoming volleys, which is pretty beneficial if you're the Saurus Old Blood. But if you want to land a breath attack with that Star Dragon, you will need that net, and this is why we've seen Teclis kind of come to the forefront of the meta. He was already one of the 2 best High Elf Lord picks in general, alongside Ilariel, of course, but now, even though he doesn't have his Arcane Phoenix in this game, and that's really kind of what put him over the edge, I mean, he's super good here because Kindle Flame synergizes so incredibly well with the Star Dragon and the breath attacks. So Bolt Throwers opening up on the Cold One Riders for now. Archers firing into the Skink Cohort and the Red Crested Skinks on the way in, and they do not have a missile block chance. No shields whatsoever. And they're going to take a lot of damage on the way in. So if you're Prussian Prince, isolating a few of these early will be super beneficial. Get rid of them because they will actually mess up. Well, they won't mess up Silver and Guard. They will mess up High Elf Spearmen. So yeah, this is going to be a raffle stomp. The Red Crested Skinks are going to get run over by the Silver and Guard. And I think that was a net? Was that a net? I think that's a net. Cold One Spear Riders not taking the bait there. That's actually a big loss. Over on this side, Zach B. Sane and the Old Blood are looking to overload this flank, deal with the Silver Helms and the Spearmen. Might be able to break this relatively quickly. That's a lot of damage. A lot of forces in the right flank here. In the middle, Red Crested Skinks, sure enough, are melting, getting absolutely destroyed. And Sacred Croxagors also being focused down by the archers. There are some reserve spearmen ready to charge in too. Croxagors are not feeling too good under the effects of those bolt throwers. Transformation of Kadon on top of the archers in the back line, and the Star Dragon hasn't taken too much damage whatsoever so far. No White Lions on the field for the Azure. This is going to be a terror route for the Children of the Old Ones on this side pretty quick, and Cold Wind Riders just now getting under control. Spear Riders moving away from that Star Dragon. Taker Crash Scores will not be around for too much longer. They're getting absolutely torn up by the Silver Guard, which was, looking back on it, probably not the ideal engagement for them. But Zach Hussein has already broken through, and he's starting to compromise some of the back line here. Russian Prince's archers might have been pushed up a little bit too far. That means that inundating them will be a more simple proposition. More Cold Wind Riders gonna swoop in from this flank, put pressure on the bolt throwers most likely. And so far, battle's looking about even. Star Dragon is perfectly safe. Techless is fine. Big net coming in, and probably a breath attack for good measure. Yes, indeed. This time, not gonna do a whole lot. Might want to save those breath attacks to deal with the Old Blood. Big charge coming in. Star Dragon already up to 56 kills. All of this netted. A lot of terror routes for the Lizardmen here. But the Old Blood is on the hunt, and Techless is screaming, "Get off me, T-Rex, please!" Desperately trying to escape, but the cavalry is right there too, and he just got stuffed up. He just got blocked, and this could be bad. This could be very bad for Techless, but Potion of Shiroi is popped. 44% ward save. Means he might be able to take through this. The Star Dragon is relatively healthy still, but that's a duel that he doesn't necessarily love. High Elves are pushing forward to support their lord. King Cohort have finished off the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, or certainly going to be able to push it off that crew anyway. Red Crescent Skink should be able to push through the Spearmen on this side, and another Flock of Doom from the Skink Priest of the Lore of Beasts. Oh, that Star Dragon is getting destroyed, but none of that matters if Techless has enough Winds of Magic to regrowth. So if you can't bring it down, could be bad. For now, Balance More is in favor of the Lizardmen, but the Star Dragon is safe and should get healed relatively soon as well. Which might turn this back in the High Elf's favor if he can get him healed up. A horde of Sotek are rampaging in the rear though. Absolutely murderizing, blending these Spearmen. King Cohort doing a great job of shutting down 2 or 3 full units. For the moment, I'm thinking Lizardmen have an advantage. That is a regrowth. Not Overcast this time. I'm not sure Techless has the Winds of Magic to do so. Old Blood playing it cool, playing it safe. Cause a terror route with a charge here. And the High Elf support is beginning to look pretty weak at this stage in the battle. And that missed net of Ammontok might have hurt Prussian Prince. Because it meant he couldn't Overcast regrowth and get the Star Dragon to a healthier position. But look at that balance we're creeping back already. Healing is strong in Warhammer 2, as you guys well know. We got an Old Blood and Star Dragon duking it out here. Oh, we got animations. Got a bit of a sumo attack. A bit of a wrestling move. Plague of Rust going down on the Old Blood. And beginning to not look super healthy, but he does have more support. Flock of Doom going down again. And Cohort of Sotek, a lot of armor piercing going the way of that Star Dragon right now. And that might seal it. Lizardmen definitely looking a lot stronger at this portion of the battlefield. And that Star Dragon's gone. The win condition for the Azure is gone as well. Yeah, this is going to be army losses very soon. Star Dragon will not escape. Cavalry blocking his avenue here. And goodbye, sweet Prince. The greatest of the Warhammer monsters is off the field. Techless is surrounded as well. That is going to be your battle. Terror route incoming, army losses incoming, and Zach Hussein going to go up 1-0 real quick. Nice game. So Silver and Guard, super good for the High Elves. It's just like a staunch line of spears, you know? Do exactly what it says on the tin. Charge defense against large, hold the line, deal some damage backwards. It's actually kind of impressive how much damage Silver and Guard deal, especially to Lizardmen. But Zach Hussein had the tools for it. Jester! 25 per participant. Give me 1 second here. My voice just cracked. I'm excited. Thank you, man. I'll check that donation in 1 second here. My lord. Lord have mercy. Alright, so we'll do stats, and then we'll check the donation real quick. So, Techless. 4 kills, obviously not much about killing. It's about the nets. It's about the casting. I don't know if he actually brought Kindle Flame that game. I didn't see it. Potion of Shiroi let him tank that out a lot longer than normal. But the first missed net was a problem, unfortunately. If you are the High Elves, you need to make sure you alley-oop those net of Ammontox with your breath attacks. Stack those up nicely. And that first missed net meant that he couldn't overcast Regrowth on the Star Dragon and get it into a healthier position. Still, Star Dragon was not useless that game, not by any stretch of the imagination. 70 kills and 2 earned chevrons. Dealt a lot of damage to that Old Blood, but could have used a little bit more cycle charging, I think. Silver and Guard were great. I mean, they held the line against the Croxagores, and the archers tore them up. High Elves, the Spearmen were fine. But Zach B. Sane was impressive with the cavalry. Honestly, I think 4 heavy cav here is a pretty solid choice. It means that you can put a lot of pressure, unless they go full Dragon Princes, which is a possible build against the Lizardmen. But if they don't do that, you should have a cav advantage, especially when you're supported by the Carnosaur on the ground. And he just overloaded one flank, broke that super quick, got into the rear, shut down the archers, and from there, it was just kind of an avalanche of destruction. The Azure were pushed back. Zach B. Sane gonna go up 1-0. I believe Dark Elves Dwarfs is game number 2. And Jester, 25 per participant, extra 50 for the winner, and 50 for you, sweet Prince Jesse. Thank you so much for that deployment moolah. Really appreciate it, my dude. Thank you so much. What is the second map? We are going to be going to Golden Monolith. To the snows of Norska and the golden dildo of the gods. Cody Bowen, $5. Somebody do my boy Malice Darkblade. Now that would be interesting. He doesn't see a lot of play in tournaments, unfortunately. I think he's a really hype lord. He's fun to watch. When Zarkan unleashes his demonic power and begins shredding stuff, he's certainly not a bad choice. The issue he runs into
Fortune favors the infamous.
Is that he's just not Malekith. He's just not Marathi. He's just not on that level. Doesn't have that impact. Which is unfortunate, because he's not a terrible lord. Just the Dark Elves have so many other good options. Thank you for the 5. Alright. So we got Dark Elves and Dwarfs. Now, on paper, you'd say, oh yeah, the Druki have a massive advantage in this matchup, right? I mean, they've got Chariot play, they've got all kinds of armor piercing with the Harganeth Executioners, they've got the mobility advantage, we've got so many advantages here. But Dwarfs have the perfect counter to Chariot play, and that is Rune of Wrath and Ruin, and Trollhammer Torpedoes, and I guess Thunderers as well. That is a lot of armor piercing potential that will quickly delete Malekith, quickly delete your Cold One Chariots, quickly delete your Scourge Runners, or whatever kind of tool you're going for very quickly. So what you'll often see from the Dark Elves is just a super wide infantry build with a couple Harganeth Executioners to provide that killing power on the front line. Not necessarily going to be what he goes for here, though. I think Dark Elves do have some options, but you just got to be super careful of that Focus Fire and Rune of Wrath and Ruin. That combination is brutal for most factions in the game, but especially one that relies on Chariot play. I guess the real question is, guys, what's better, a staunch line of spears or a staunch line of beards? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in chat right now. Are you staunch line of beards or staunch line of spears? In the War of the Beard, who wins? I mean, we know who won in the lore. But who does your vote go to? Raw Cauliflower. Isn't Isabel von Karnstein the least played legendary lord in TW Warhammer's history of releases? I would probably say Gorst. I don't know why Helman Gorst was ever a lord in the first place. I mean, if you want to see how much Creative Assembly has changed and how much better they've gotten at what they're doing with Warhammer, look back to The Grim and the Grave. Compared to what we're getting now, not a very good DLC. Do any of those factions even have unique mechanics? Campaign mechanics? I don't think they do. I don't think Volkmar or Helman Gorst does. I'm seeing a lot of beards in chat. Dude, people hate elves. It's amazing. I don't know if it's just because it's funny to joke about it, to meme about it, but people despise Azur, the pompous knife ears. When it comes down to Dawi and High Elves, I think 90% of the time people are on the dwarf side. Which I guess makes sense. I mean, if you're gonna have a beer with someone, I'd much rather have a beer with a dwarf. I've seen a few elves, but it's mostly Dawi. What do you guys think about what you see from Troy so far? Have you been watching any campaigns or... Oh, I was gonna say multiplayer battles, but there's no multiplayer in Troy right now, and there won't be until November. This feels bad. Imagine a lot of you guys are probably not super hyped for Troy. Some of you certainly will be. I haven't figured out yet what or if I want to do for content for Troy. Again, I don't think it's a terrible game, but I don't know yet if I'm going to do a whole lot of content for it, because all my ideas, like a multiplayer Siege of Troy, I just can't do till November, and by that point, viewership is not going to care anymore. But I do not know yet. Okay, looking at builds here. We've got a Feral Manticore from RTK Prussian Prince. Do have a line of Dark Shards, so he's going for the Daka line. That's an interesting play. Kind of surprised not to see Bolt Fiends here for their missile or their shield breaker trait. That might be pretty nice. Sisters of Slaughter are a super good pick, actually. You look at them and they're pretty much naked, so you'd say, oh, there's no way they'd be good versus Dawi. But it's a little bit... I mean, it's not really exactly what you expect, right? They're a lot tankier than they would appear. 57 melee defense, poison, which is essentially a 20% ward save in melee, and then also on top of that, the physical resistance. So they are not easy to get through at all, and they have super high leadership as well, so they don't rout. Ladies of Eldrazi are a problem. The Dawi for sure. Malekith is on his Cold One Chariot. Jesgon for Soul Stealer and Gaze of Malice. Bleak Swords all across the front ranks. That is the build. Well, he's got something. Few Harpies as well. What's over here? Yeah. Just Harpies. Okay, for Zach B. Sane and the Dawi. Ekron's Miners have armor piercing in melee and flaming blasting charges. Do have regular Iron Drakes, Spew and Napalm. Gonna make it look like Vietnam out here. I love these guys, dude. They're so good. They are so good. It's so much fun to watch, too. Longbeard frontline, Dwarf Warriors, some Thunderers, Runesmith, and a... Oh, we got Grombrindal the White Dwarf. And Malekith. We got a grudge match here, boys and girls. Love to see it. Dawi got their guy. The Ancestor Gods are pissed at what the Druki pulled off, and Grombrindal going to be trying to put Malekith into an early grave. By early, I mean like 4,000 years too late. Trollhammer Torpedoes are here, protected by the Dragonback Slayers. It's a nice combination. Especially if you can get them on target and not friendly fire them with the Iron Drakes. You can deal a lot of damage because they will imbue additional fire weakness. Trollhammer Torpedoes are going to be a problem for Malekith too. Got to be careful. Something is hidden behind. Ooh. I like that. Okay. Good luck, have fun. So if Prussian Prince wins this, we'll tie it up. One game apiece and go into the game 3. Otherwise, if Zach B. Sane takes it and the Dwarfs take it, it's going to be going straight to the finals for the Dawi. So if the Dwarfs here, taking a little bit of the high ground, Anakin would certainly not be a bad thing at all. Get a little bit more layered potential, a little bit more shooting from the hill on high. Interesting play right now from Prussian Prince and the Dark Elves. He has Bleak Swords and Dark Shards isolated. Now, they're not going to get caught by the Dawi, of course. They should easily be able to pull back. if the dwarves continue pushing forward. You can see that Zach Bisane really wants to get at least a few volleys in with the Iron Drakes. But Prussian Prince is all the way on the other side of the battlefield, and honestly, this is like a crab claw deployment. This is something you might see in Total War Shogun 2 back in the day. This was actually not an uncommon tactic at all, to overload one side with infantry and force their hand, essentially. Just put pressure in a weird spot, and of course the Dawi are kind of unique in that they don't have a way to punish this. I mean, most factions in the game have some light cav or some mobility. They can just push forward and get into the Dark Shards and put a lot of pressure here. But of course, the dwarves can't do that. They've got their stunty little grudge gnome legs, and they can't do a whole lot but shuffle aimlessly towards the Dark Elves. So he does look like he wants to grab that hill, but can't sit up there by himself. And remember that, of course, Prussian Prince has 5 Dark Shards. He does have the range advantage, so he will be able to force the Dawi off this hill anyway. The Ranger does open up some interesting opportunities here. Vanguard deployed, ready to fire in the Dark Shards, and now putting some pressure on them as the dwarves push forward. And you gotta be careful, because the Dragonback Slayers do have the speed to catch up to all of these units. Grombardel gets close, drops his flash bomb, and this could be a wing completely isolated. And right now, if he's on skirmish mode with these Dark Shards, could be a problem. He could actually run into melee with the Rangers. They'd probably do well against the Dark Shards in melee. Iron Drakes opening up now. Harpies on top of them. Harpies will die very quickly under that salvo, so they're off the field. Iron Drakes didn't take too much damage in return, but honestly, the Harpies don't need to deal a lot of damage. All they need to do is put pressure on the ranged play. Sisters of Slaughter are destroyed by the Iron Drakes on the way in. Longbeard's pushing them backwards, and they are already shattered, and this is a brutal start so far. Dragonback Slayers mulch through the Bleak Swords onto the Dark Shards now, and I don't know if they're going to be able to escape. Both of them are tied up and close to the white line here. Dark Shards on this side getting torn up by the Iron Drakes as well, who are already up to 56 kills. But here comes Malekith and the Cold One Chariot, and he is the main focus of the Dark Elves battle line. Gonna have to put in a lot of work to shift this, because right now it's already looking a little bit iffy for the Druki. Iron Drakes getting run over, Harpies tying down the Quarrelers in the rear, but this is a nice firing line and great focus fire coming in from Zach Bisane, and he has a lot of support back here too. Dwarf Warriors ready to receive the charge. Malekith pushes through. Triumph torpedoes so far have not done a lot of damage to him though. Malekith is very healthy, but yeah, the Dwarf Warriors and the Dragonback Slayers mulch this entire side, and he got too close to the white line. He had nowhere to go. Rangers tying them down in melee combat. Dwarfs pushing through. Sisters of Slaughter should definitely be able to win this fight, but it will take a while. And Murderous Prowess has popped. Can it get these Dark Elves back into the fight? Dark Shards are going to be a massive linchpin here. They need to get back in the fight and start focus firing on the high-value threats. And the biggest ones for now, probably the Thunderer and the range play back here. This pocket is the biggest issue by far. If you're the Dark Elves, big Soul Stealer coming down should get Malekith close to full HP. Harpies are still around. The balance bar swinging ever more in the Dawi's favor. Dragonback Slayers are free, and that means they can just hunt down these Dark Shards, get into both, and push them backwards. At least prevent them from firing, but maybe kill them outright. And we're seeing the power of Dawi range firepower here. These Iron Drakes, Triumph Torpedoes, and Thunderers shredding the Druki on the way in. Cain forsakes us indeed. The Brides of Cain and the Ladies of Elderzor not enjoying their lot in life so far. Ekron's Miners and Longbeards will be able to win on this side too. Just Bleak Swords now. Dark Shards are in good position to fire in, but Dragonback Slayers and Grombardel are close. Gromby doesn't have a single kill yet. He's just going for Malekith. Okay, this could swing it though, actually. Dark Shards might be able to kill off that Ranger, then if they can swing back in, could bring it back. This is not over for the Dark Elves, not by a long shot. But Triumph Torpedoes need to die before Malekith takes too much more damage. Minus 72% speed and charge speed. Can barely move while the Rune of Wrath and Ruin is popped. And that's going to alley-oop it into the combo. Malekith moving at 18 speed now. And here comes the venerated Ancestor God Oh lord, Gromby on target with the rune axe of Grombrazol, and Malekith is getting shredded. There's nowhere for him to go. That's it. He's routed. Army losses kicks in, and the dwarfs take it convincingly. Zach B. Saint swarming here, 2-0, and he'll be going into the grand finals. Well played. Wow, that was impressive. A lot of people feel like dwarfs aren't a great faction in Warhammer 2 multiplayer, but I feel like that notion can be dispelled when you see great play like that. That was impressive. Now, of course, dwarfs do have their issues, but when you're able to combo slows and the flash bomb from Grombrazol and get Malekith down to 18 speed, and then just focus fire him with Throwhammer torpedoes and thunderers, what's your lord gonna do? And that is probably the scariest thing about fighting the dwarfs, is that you really don't know where to put your lord or any of your high value stuff. If you bring big single entity monsters, they're gonna get torn up by the ranged firepower. You bring someone like Malekith, I mean, he's also a very high value target and can shred legions of Dawi if he's able to cycle charge with impunity. But he can't with impunity because the flash bomb's on the field and the runesmith is on the field. That slow is on the field. And you're moving slow as molasses in January. If you cannot get out of their firing arc, you will disappear very quickly. And Malekith was healthy until the runesmith hit him. Grombrazol laid it up, and from there it was dumpster city. Malekith went down, and they lost their win condition. So the Darshard battle line here didn't work out. I like the idea from Prussian Prince, pushing that crab deployment out. I say crab claw because essentially one wing of the army is the big pincer, and the other smaller wing is the little underbelly of that claw. And he was trying to put pressure on the side and force the Dawi into a disadvantageous engagement. But Zach B. Sane commandeered his forces into a perfect position, grabbed that hill, sent the Dragonback Slayers after the Dark Shards, pushed them up against the white line, preventing them from firing. They got no value whatsoever. They started firing into the Rangers, and from there, it meant that the Dark Elves were isolated on the main infantry line. And I was a little bit surprised to see... So I like the idea of a Daka line. I think it can work here, but having no Executioners, no Blender Lords in melee meant that winning this infantry fight and pushing through into the back line would be more difficult. And you can't just rely on the Harpies. They're a good unit. They're definitely going to see a lot of play versus dwarfs, but you need a teeny bit more killing power on that infantry line, and I don't think Two Sisters of Slaughter is going to be able to cut it. This could work if you have all 5 focus firing on the right target, and so I think if you go for the Daka line, you keep your entire army together so they can all shoot high value stuff and drop it immediately. You gotta have it all shooting at the same time. And most of his Dark Shards just weren't firing that battle. So give credit to Zach B. Sane. Dragonback Slayers were used incredibly well. I mean, they munched those Bleak Swords so fast. 126 kills, and then the Iron Drakes and the Trollhammers did exactly what they needed to do. Gromby with a whopping 0 kills, but it doesn't matter. You don't win games with the dwarfs based on your lords. You win it based on your range firepower. We saw that here. Well played. So Exploding Hamster is up next, and A-Move Hacker as well. GG to Prussian Prince and Zach B. Sane. We'll be seeing Zach B. Sane in the finals. I do love seeing dwarfs versus dark elves. Typically what I've seen in my experience, because a lot of the people on the Warhammer Tournament Discord and others, they like playing on the Dawi side of that matchup. So typically the replays that get sent in are dwarfs winning. I still think Dark Elves have a lot of tools to win that matchup for sure. A lot of ways to play it, like I said. You can go for the Daka line, you can go for the full heavy metal rush build. But in this case, the Daka line just did not combine their focus fire, and it ended up hurting the Dark Elves a lot. Let's get A-Move Hacker into this engagement now. Come on, player. It's getting hot in here, so I'm gonna take off all my clothes. I am getting so hot. I'm going to take my clothes off, let it hang all out. By the way, I might be doing a beginning of the end times Slanesh campaign stream tomorrow. I have not confirmed that yet. We'll see. I'm thinking about doing it though. I've not played beginning of the end times for a super long time. If anyone's interested in seeing some Slanesh gameplay on that amazing Medieval 2 mod, let me know.
Fortune favors the infamous.
But yeah, I have a Strikar of the Sortsvanir and Sigvald working back to back to conquer Norska and then the world. So if you want to see that, let me know in chat. We just got a donation. 1 second. Brian Hoop, hooray for Hamster, and then Kies for the stream. $5. Thank you so much, my friend. Much appreciated. This pleases Slanesh, says Admiral Lucius. Yeah. Lucius the Eternal is probably pretty happy with that one, too. So, A-Move Hacker should hopefully be joining very soon, and we will be moving. Let's check maps. We go into the Pillar of Bone. Going to the Greenskins. Home turf. Let's check on him. So Exploding Hamster and A-Move Hacker are both super good players. I think A-Move Hacker has been saying he's a little bit rusty. Hasn't been playing as much recently, which I don't blame him. There's been a little bit of Warhammer 2 burnout, for sure. But both have a lot of tournament experience, a lot of competitive multiplayer experience, and I'm expecting a very good series here. I agree, Warhammer 3 is taking way too long. I think we all want it, man. I'm hoping for an announcement soon. I'm thinking there might be an announcement by September or October. We shall see. Thomas, hello, milkandcookiesTW, longtime fan. I was wondering if you could beat me up. Is that what you're into, baby? Nice, dude. Yeah, we'll see if we can get that organized for you. Likes it rough. Serious Potato, we got a botette dev in here. We are working on a massive update at the moment. Not sure if we make it before Warhammer 3 though. Well, we'll see. I don't know how long it's going to take you guys, but I'm not expecting to see Warhammer 3 until like next summer probably. Maybe late spring. So you have some time. The nice thing about Beginning of the End Times, if you've not seen the mod, and remember, back in the glory days, dude, and they were glory days, when Milk and Cookies TW really started taking off, Beginning of the End Times was right there. We started with Call of Warhammer. There were 3 people playing multiplayer at that time, in the world, basically. It started out as Maximus Decimus Meridius, remember Maximus Norvegicus, or Norvegicus, from YouTube. Rest in peace to his channel. Great content creator, good dude. He started out with Call of Warhammer, I think 1.5, and he was playing with a dude named Gojira. And they started out with multiplayer, they're just playing 1v1s, and I was like, you know what? Warhammer 1's coming out. I don't know a lot about Warhammer right now. Let's try it out. Let's start playing some multiplayer, and let's get it on the action. So, I jumped in. I was the 3rd person in that group, 3rd wheeled it for a bit, and started doing a lot of content, a lot of multiplayer games, as you guys remember if you've been around for a long time. And that was really when the channel started taking off. I mean, obviously, had viewers before then, been doing content since Shogun 2. Also covered Rome 2. I think at that point, I was around 10,000 subscribers, something like that. 8,000, 10,000. But that was when I started consistently getting like 30, 40,000 views a multiplayer battle. And there was no one doing that. I mean, it was just Maximus and me. They were doing multiplayer content for it, or any content for it whatsoever. And that kind of blew up 1.5, moved into 1.6, and then after that, beginning of the end times, maybe like a year after, came out, and that was when we got the global map that stretched all the way to Nagaroth and Ulthuan and Southlands. Got the Tomb Kings in there, got the Lizardmen, and that is when that mod really blew up. Right when beginning of the end times hit, I think in early 2017, something like that. Yeah, that was fun. Good memories. So I think it might be fun to do a bit of a nostalgia stream soon. Gojira started his content with Blood Bowl, I think, but he was like, dude, he was young. He was 11 or 12 when he started playing multiplayer with us. Maximus was probably 20. Yeah, no, Maximus was probably a little bit older. He's probably like 22. I was 20-ish. No, I'm getting it all wrong. I was like 23, 24 at least. I'm 28 now. I'm gonna die of old age soon, man. Sorry for waxing nostalgic. Dude, the nice thing about beginning of the end times, though, full rosters. You got demons, you got warriors of Slaanesh, warriors of Khorne, warriors of Tzeentch, warriors of Nurgle, and they have full mixed demon and chaos rosters. Which means Slaaneshi Chosen fighting alongside Demonettes, fighting against Hellflayers of Slaanesh. All those combined makes for a super fun roster, man. Really enjoyable. So we'll see if we can show that off soon. I am not playing. I am commentating. It's a tournament. We got A Move Hacker is Henny. He looks like he's playing maybe the dwarfs. Yeah, he's playing dwarfs. Van Skaven and High Elves. Yeah, that's logical. If you're playing Dawi, banning Skaven and High Elves is a pretty good idea. High Elves are super scary for the dwarfs for a multitude of reasons, but they have a ton of chariots. White Lion chariots are a massive issue for them. And of course, Swordmasters blend your front line too. White Lions as well. The Skaven are, of course, Doom Wheels, Doom Flayers. All that is a pretty terrifying combination. Sam Brown, 20 bucks. Thanks for all the great content. Been meaning to donate for a while. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, these are trying times for everybody, so the fact that you're willing to donate to the channel is really, really appreciated. Thank you so much, man. Thought you were over 35? I mean, dude, 28, like I'm pretty much on death's door anyway. It's gonna be all over soon. It's all downhill from here. I can already feel the creak in my old bones. All right. So we got greenskins and dwarfs on the Pillar of Bone, going for a lore-friendly matchup here. This is gonna get interesting. A Move Hacker is a very good dwarfs player. I have seen it in action multiple times. I'm surprised, actually. In 3 games, we've gotten Dawi twice. We'll see how that goes. Greenskins have a lot of tools for it. Squig Hoppers are a massive issue. I expect to see plenty of them. And the crazy thing about the Greenskins is they can swarm with that Waaagh. They can completely overwhelm you with numbers. And what a lot of Dwarfs players do, actually, in this matchup in particular, is just kind of box up. Now, when you box, there's a good way to box and a bad way to box. I'm hoping to not see any boxes in this forest here. That is one of the issues with Pillar of Bone. Not my favorite style of play, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Use what the map gives you. But Colin G with the $10. It's been a minute, buddy. Glad I could make it. Good luck, have fun to everyone. Thank you so much, Colin. Much appreciated, dude. But yeah, I think Greenskins have a lot of tools in this matchup. The Squig Hoppers are a big problem. Black Orcs obviously can chop through a lot of stuff. And you can seriously go for like an 1800 model army here and be really cost efficient. And remember that you don't necessarily have to tear through the front line quickly. You just have to have so many units that you can swarm, inundate the back line, shut down the range plane. If you're able to do that, and keep your armor-piercing troops alive, you have a very good shot at winning. I believe Exploding Hamster is German. I do not know where A Move Hacker is from, but I think one of them might have a potato. At least the load time was not impressive. So, let's take a look at what we got here. I am already in love with Exploding Hamster's Greenskins build. Oh, it is a thing of beauty. A lot of gobos. The Gobbo Tide is real. He's got 1,300 models on the field. We do have Grom the Paunch. So, this is obviously a dwarf blender through and through. Look at that gut. That massive gut and them tiggle bitties. Jesus. That is just a exquisite sight to behold. Grom, I love you so much. So yeah, he can get up to like 110 melee attack and massive weapon strength with his Axe of Grom, with his Armor Sundering, with his crazy buffs. He did not go fully kitted out here though. He just has the Great Un is here. So that is the melee attack, base weapon damage, and leadership for in like a 40 meter radius? 40 meter radius. And then Language of the Boy. So actually, he didn't go for any of his unique talents or abilities. Really. Didn't go for Axe of Grom. Didn't go for his Lucky Banner. Just trying to keep himself cost efficient, which makes sense if you want to swarm the field. But we do have an artillery line, Hammer of Gork and 2 Goblin Rock Lobbers that can pound a dwarf box pretty quick, force them into a position where they have to push forward and engage you in a spot where they don't want to. You might have an artillery advantage here too if we're looking at what the dwarfs have. So a lot of Gobbos, the Warlord's Boys, Night Goblin Fanatics, Goblin Archers, and a lot of nasty Skulkers. Their AP and their Smoke Bombs. These guys can prey on your back line pretty easy if you're not careful. For A Move Hacker and the Dwarfs, we do have a defensive hexagon formation. Look at that. Now this is very wide, and this is what you want to do if you quote-unquote box. You don't want to put yourself in a position where your ranged options are shut down immediately after the front line breaks. And so I think that can happen if you deploy your ranged play like up here. Then what happens is they just break through and then immediately they're on top of your stuff. And if you're not able to shoot with the dwarfs, you often lose. So I like this deployment for sure. It's like Shrek. It's got layers. It's an onion. And we got Iron Drakes, Trollhammer Torpedoes. We got great weapons. Rangers right here. Ulthar's Rangers. Remember they have that marked by Ulthar ability. Lowers missile resist and shreds anything that's coming in. Goblobber. Throw some Gobbos back at the hideous greenskins. Cannons already opening up now. Longbeard frontline Rangers and Miners in the back. So no Vanguard play coming out from the greenskins at all. There is a Gyrocopter up top. Just a steam gun variant, and already we're going to have an artillery duel. Now, I do expect the greenskins to deal more damage with their artillery than the Dawi do this game. This is a little bit dangerous. There could have been a Vanguard and Ranger or something in the back. I mean, maybe you wouldn't want to do that because of the risk of squig hoppers and stuff, but he has no way to pressure that besides the cannon, so let's shoot it to death. Hammer Gork is getting shredded. And hell, cannon might be exactly what the doctor ordered for dealing with the artillery threat from the greenskins. Now, he didn't invest a massive amount. 3 artillery pieces for the greenskins is not crazy by any stretch of the imagination. So, he might be able to do okay here, and the Goblobber will lower the leadership too. They rout off. Could be a problem, but very smart play from Exploding Hamster, pulling them off the cannons, off the artillery, moving into the back, and getting in a position where he will no longer be able to get shot. Orc board chariots, you don't see those every day. One of the worst chariot units in the game, but still not useless against dwarfs, obviously, when you've got 40 weapon strength, armor piercing, and bonus infantry. Not too bad. Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin was wasted. No capitalization on top of it. No damage done. Iron Drakes pushed back a little bit, have taken some damage from the Hammers of Gork. And Grom is in there. Marked by Ulthar, dealing a lot of damage to him. But he's got regen, so he doesn't have to go back in anytime soon. Just wait until he gets into a more healthy position, and then go back in. On this side, Orc Board Chariots taking some damage from the Dragonback Slayers. They're going to pull away. Obviously, they do not want to be fighting the avatars of Grimnir. Remember, they do have that slowing aura too, so anyone they touch in melee will be slowed. Combine that with Rune of Wrath and Ruin, that could be an issue for the Greenskins. Goblobber, up to 11 kills so far, now firing into the Rusty Errors. That's a high value target for sure, because that will make anything they focus fire on drop that much faster, alongside that Armor Sundering. Vindictive Glare coming in, or actually that's Gaze of Mort coming in from the Orc Shaman. On top of the Goblobber, didn't do a lot of damage. Look at these Longbeard just melting in the face of this withering skirmish fire. Nasty Skulkers with silver chevrons torn up real quick by the Longbeards and the Althar's Rangers. And the Gyros. We're getting to feast on the backline now. Yeah, this unit's super good. The Steam Guns shred through lightly armored targets like these Goblin Archers very quickly. And he doesn't have a lot of tools for shutting it down either. Here comes Grom. Got a Brain Bursta in the back on the Dragonback Slayers. And with Grom and this charge from the Goblin Fanatics, those Longbeards should break finally. Very measured game at the moment. Gyrocopters moving into the rear to deal with the Hammer of Gork and the 2 artillery pieces. Balance bar still about even. Maybe a little bit in favor of the Dawi, but not by much. A lot of this is going to be up to Grom. Orc Boar Chariots are getting just mucked up hard by the Dragonback Slayers. Only 10 kills. Have not been impressive so far. And the artillery is untouched for the Dawi. Grom's got to be super careful. Take a look at this. Marked by Althar and the Trollhammers. If they get a full volley off while he's slowed, Grom could drop super quick. Look at that damage coming in. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that could be so bad. Oh, Grom, be careful. Watch out, buddy. Another big volley coming in. Oh my god, he's dead. He's dead. Oh my lord, Grom. Just completely dumpstered, and the dwarfs are dominating this tournament so far. Oh my god, Grom just got deleted from the game. Yeeted out of existence. No mercy, no respite from the Dawi. And the Rune Lord showing his worth here. Nasty Skulker is trying to get into the rear, but A-Move Hacker has put such a great layered defense in. And with the Gyros dealing with the artillery in the back, Greenskins are quickly getting pushed out of this fight. And the Warlords boys are not going to be able to counter it. They're not going to be able to do enough here. Put them back in this game. Well, so the reason he's focus firing on the Longbeards is he needs to break that front line so he can more easily get his chariots and stuff into the rear. Now, there's something to be said for just ignoring the Longbeards entirely, but if he pushes up his archers all the way into range of the rest of his backline, then, I mean, the dwarfs are just going to run into melee, and they already had a clear-cut melee advantage. So, I'm not saying it was the right play, but there is something to be said for just breaking that relatively high-tier infantry unit in the center right off the start, and you saw how much damage he was doing to it. I mean, he almost broke it pretty quick, but, I mean, let's just say the Orc Board Chariots and the flanking attempts didn't work out, and he had no way to push the Gyrocopter back. This thing got 2 chevrons, killed off a ton of the archers, and then the artillery. And I guess you're not investing a whole lot here. That's not a massive amount of money. That's a little bit over... It's a little bit over 2,000. So no way to protect them here except for the archers, which, I mean, the Gyrocopter just completely ignored. And I guess it's not all that surprising. Full Gobbo build from Exploding Hamster here. Maybe not pure meta. Orc Board Chariots are certainly not. I've not really seen them used very often in competitive multiplayer. And on paper, I mean, yeah, you'd say, like, they're good versus dwarfs, but I mean, we saw Malekith on a Cold One Chariot struggle to deal a lot of damage to the dwarfs. Got 84 kills in the last game, but, I mean, he certainly didn't carry the day. Are Orc Board Chariots really going to be able to do it for you? I'm not sure. Rune of Wrath and Ruin really neutralized their effectiveness. And, of course, Trollhammers, and then the marked by Althar. I think Althar's Rangers were the MVP that game. They were incredibly impressive. Didn't get a massive amount of kills, but you don't need to. They alley-oop it up for the Trollhammers and for the rest of the ranged firepower, and We saw Grom go from 2000 HP down to 0 in about 10 seconds. That's really impressive. It's a nice build from A Move Hacker here, and he's going up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. Very impressive play from the Dwarfs, and they are 2-0 in this tournament. Don't see that every day. Yeah, Grom struggled to make an impact there for sure. Next map is Mortis Wastes. What are the attack intervals of different kinds of infantry? Are sword, whip, spear, glaive, etc. So typically great weapons have a slower attack interval. Temple Guard, for instance, are actually kind of unique amongst those in that their attack interval is a little bit faster than your typical halberd. But I think a lot of halberd units, I can't remember the exact intervals, but they're definitely significantly slower than sword and board, dual weapon, those kind of things. So generally speaking, the bigger the weapon, the slower the attack interval is how it goes. Grom does have regen, yes, but it's not going to save you when you're marked by Ulthar and getting torn up by Trollhammer torpedoes. Yeah, basic regen is about 3 to 5 HP per second, depending. I think Throg and Luther and some others have higher regen than normal, but a normal regenerating Lord will have like 3 to 4 HP regen per second, and that will not save you when you're getting torn up by that kind of range firepower. It just won't, it won't help. We got Vampire Coast and Wood Elves. Now this is a crazy matchup. So there's a lot of ways to play it, but the way that you'll typically see from the Azrai, at least before they get their DLC and Zoats or whatever the hell is coming. And let me just say right now, I am butthurt. As much as I love the Azrai, as much as I think the Wood Elves do need a campaign rework, Beastmen should have got theirs first. For sure. Beastmen are definitely in a worse spot, campaign and roster side. But Wood Elves are coming next before they get their DLC. The way they play this is typically with a lot of archers. And you just spread the field like crazy and you don't commit to anything. You just shoot up all the undead. Now Vampire Coast, a lot of players still consider them to be overpowered. I can't say I really disagree. Crumbling is inherently better than routing because it means that your troops are always fighting. They're always causing fear. They're always unbreakable. Those are really important. When you rout with an Empire State troop, they're no longer fighting. They're no longer killing. They're no longer holding the line. They're not stuffing up that portion of the battlefield. They're not meat shielding. Not stopping things from getting into your back line. But the undead have incredibly cost-efficient 400 gold zombie dickhand polearms. They can layer that defense. They can force you through layer after layer of unbreakable troops with 9,000 HP apiece. And it takes a long time to get through. So the Wood Elves don't play that game at all. They sit back, they use Arrow of Kurnus, they shoot you with archers, and they spread the field like crazy. But mortars and artillery from the Vampire Coast can throw a wrench in that plan. Scurvy Dogs can as well. So we'll see how these players decide to go for it here, but it should be interesting. Yes, that is the one benefit. At least it means Beastmen are getting a DLC, which is good, because they need it really, really bad. Can you imagine how disappointing it'll be, though, if we go all this time and don't get Gorgon or Jabberslaith? What if we don't get either? That would be maybe the saddest day in Warhammer 2's history. Cry every time. Yeah, so if you don't get the reference there, I don't know if you've ever done it, but click on zombie deckhands in-game and let me know what they say to you, what their response is. It should become very apparent why I call them dickhands very quickly. In SFO, Tomb King units lose combat effectiveness when crumbling. Do you think something similar should be implemented in the base game? I don't think it's a bad idea. I do think crumbling is objectively better than routing, as I've said, but I'm a little hesitant to change it too much because already, like, vampire counts are not a bad faction, but I don't feel like they're anywhere near the top of the meta right now, and a change to crumbling could make them kind of iffy or bad, depending on what Creative Assembly decided to do with it. I don't know that it is a super important thing to change. I don't know that Coast or Vampire counts need nerfs, really, even though I do kind of agree Coast are a little bit OP in multiplayer anyway. I don't think they necessarily need to be changed a whole lot. Not really sure. I think cost for Coast might be the biggest thing. Change a little bit. They're just so cost efficient. All their stuff is just so cheap and so good at what it does and so good at holding the line. Other than SFO, is there a mod that adds the Cult of Ulrich? I think there are a lot, dude. I mean, they're one of the most desired factions or sub-factions in Warhammer history. I think, I can't think exactly what adds them, but there are a lot of mods where I've seen, like, Knights of the White Wolf get added, for instance. I don't know of too many that do a full Cult of Ulrich overhaul in terms of Tüdingen Guard, R. Ulrich, Wolfkin, Knights of the White Wolf, but I'm pretty sure they exist. I know, like, Williamson's Knights of the Empire, for instance, is one that adds a lot of the Pacific sub-faction knights. Thomas's most hated factions in 2 games, Dawi, Wood Elves, and VP. Yeah, well, we got 2 of them here, baby. Enjoy.
Fortune favors the infamous.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. If you change Coast, it can't be on a shared mechanic with counts. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree. Because they're not on the same level. I mean, I objectively think Vampire Pirates are a better faction than the Vampire Counts. Not that the Counts are bad. I would love to see some of them today. They're fun to watch. Well, when they're not blobbing with Mortis engines, that is. Yeah, like I said, for Admiral Lucius, please no Zods for Wood Elves. They don't fit the aesthetic at all. I agree. Godzilla, $10. Check that out real quick. Maybe there's a secret Lizardmen vs. Beastmen or Chaos DLC in the future. Well, I don't think it's that secret. I mean, they haven't announced it yet. But I think the logical thing to do next probably is Beastmen vs. Lizardmen in the final Lord Pack of Warhammer 2, yeah. Now, is that what I would pick? Hell no. Warhammer 2 factions have gotten enough love, dude. It's time to just go back and completely do stuff with Warhammer 1. Like a Bretonia vs. Beastmen pack, I'm trying to think who in... I mean, hell, you can do Dwarfs. Dwarfs vs. Beastmen. Malachi... the Slayer Pirate, or Slayer Engineer, with his Spirit of Grungni airship against Gorgons and Jabberslice would be awesome. But realistically, because Wood Elves are fighting a Warhammer 2 race here, that's going to be what happens in the next DLC too. So I think Lizardmen vs. Beastmen is probably what comes after Vampire Pirates, or sorry, Wood Elves and Skaven. So Thought the Unclean, Clan Molder is probably next. With the Azrai, Sisters of Twilight versus Molder. Seems the most likely. We'll break that down soon, I think. And there's a lot to do with Clan Molder. I mean, I can't really hate Skaven for getting a full Clan Molder overhaul, because it's thematic, it's fun, and they have a lot of cool units. The Brood Horrors and the like, but I don't know, Skaven have gotten a lot of love. And I think doing 3 DLCs per faction for Warhammer 2 is maybe a little bit overkill. Especially when we know in Game 3 they're getting Thankwall and probably Storm Fiends and Vermin Lords too. But purely from a business perspective of your CA, like, they know that Skaven are like one of the most popular races, if not the most popular. So it makes sense to do a lot of content for them. People get hype about their Thagaraki, about their Ratmen. Shut up, Dr. Squatch. Yeah, dude, I was watching Dr. Disrespect earlier, or yesterday actually. I watched like 10 minutes of his stream. He just came back to YouTube. I still don't know why he got banned. I don't watch his channel or his content very often. But that was... that dude makes more money in like 10 minutes of streaming than many of us do in like months. It's absolutely insane. It's so ridiculous watching that. There were like 350,000 people on his stream yesterday. Absolutely bananas. Alright, so we got Azrai and we've got Vampire Pirates. So, not going to give too much away here, but there are Swift Shiver Shards on the field. Less range than your typical Deepwood Scout, but they fire double arrows essentially, and they deal a lot of damage. That's why they have 36 missile strength. Dryads backing them up. Eternal Guard front line. A lot of Glade Guard spreading the field, like I said, with a Glade Lord on top, a Great Eagle, Wild Rider unit in the back, Way Watchers too. It looks like one Wild Rider, a bunch of Dryads, really wide formation, and a Spellslinger of the Lore of Beast. Transformation of Kadan is the only spell. For Exploding Hamster and the Vampire Pirates, we have Fell Bats flying overhead, Zombie Pirate Dickhands, Deck Gunners, which are actually a very cost-efficient, good range tool for killing those archers really quick. A bunch of Mortars, Mourngulls, and Zombie Pirate Gunnery Mob. With a few bombers, too. So Fellbat's taking a volley early. Necrofex and Count Noctilus are on the field. 818 missile strength already opening up into the Swift Shiver Shards. We're gonna do a lot of damage. Yeah, these Deepwood Scouts are not gonna be around for too long. It's gonna be painful. And they've only done a little bit of damage to the Fell Bats so far. So all he has to do is just zone them out, absorb some shots, dodge some arrows, make them waste some ammunition. And meanwhile, these guys are perilously close to the white line. If they rout, they might just be off the map entirely. So he's gotta be careful. A-Move's gotta be real careful with his Wood Elves on that side. And they are indeed running straight for that white line. And if he keeps shooting, we will not see them again. So, Fellbats moving in. Might be able to chase them off while the Great Eagle and Glade Lord flies overhead. Remember, if the Wood Elves win this game, they will take the series 2-0. They will move on to the Grand Finals to fight Zach B. Sane. Arrow of Kurnus. Each time it's supposed to take out an artillery piece. This time it missed, though. And that mortar will stay online to continue raining death and destruction upon the Deepwood Scouts. And they are indeed going to disappear. Blade Guard firing in on the deck gunners. We'll probably have to move back here pretty soon. Tide of Skjold are not going to fight the Eternal Guard. Or if they are, yeah, you might want to move those deck gunners back quickly, my dude. Getting some good shots on the Wild Riders, but maybe not worth it to lose your deck gunners so early. Yeah, they're dead. Deepwood Scouts get some good shots into the bombers, but they'll get a full volley into the Dryads. And we should expect a lot of damage if they're able to get one more volley in here. We'll see. Here it comes. Huh? Not super impressive. The loose formation is actually helping those Dryads a lot, and they're going to run over that Dickhand crew. Transformation of Kadan. Pharaoh Metzgor into the rear on top of the Carronades. We got sea shanties blasting in the background. I'm getting hype. Morgul netted down by the prey of Anathrema. Missile resist will disappear. And they are going to get torn up bad by all this focus fire. There are Way Watchers firing in too, so don't expect those Morgul's to last against all that focus fire for too long. But Invocation of the Heck will heal them back up, and he will retreat. Eternal Guard already breaking the zombie deckhands. Wow. And zombie summons in the rear, being super annoying, trying to protect the Carronades. Nice bomber volley coming in. Up to 17 kills on them so far. Morgul's are into the Dryads, and they will feast here. They love this engagement. They are born and bred for that kind of fight. With Eternal Guard nearby, they will have to be cautious. I like the focus fire from A-Move Hacker so far, but he was not able to kill off that Morgul unit. That Invocation of the Heck keeping them in the fight, and now with a charge into the Dryads, he won't want to focus fire on them anymore. I mean, the Dryads die even quicker. They didn't get a charge off, though. They're trying to put... Are they... Yeah, they missed that charge bonus completely. They were trying to move through. That was weird. Wild Riders just routed off. Deck Gunner play from Exploding Hamster so far has been clutch. And the Necrofex opening up into the Glade Guard straight down the length of their line. Morgul's are being used very defensively right now. I like that play from Exploding Hamster. You want to use them to patrol the back, deal with the Eternal Guard back here first, and then you can worry about the archers. Because he wants to keep those mortars and cannons online for as long as possible. Right now, though, Wood Elves have a slight advantage. Blade Lord flying overhead, looking for a target to land in and amongst, and he might be able to just go for the mortar crew. Morgul's are looking a little bit unhealthy at this point, and we got some lag coming in too. They're pulling the lag switch, boys. They're hacking. Yeah, Wood Elves have done a great job with this attack so far. Just layered aggression, not committing all at once, not committing too much. Nice prey of Aneth Rayma. There won't be too much follow-up, but it will allow the Glade Lord to finish off that cannon crew and then escape. Question is, are there enough archers on the field to deal with Noctilus? And I think the answer is hell yeah. This is definitely swinging in the Wood Elves' favor for now. Wild Rider even came back. Gotta keep the Morgul's online and healthy. If they die here, it's over. Overcast, what he's probably gonna do here, group these guys up and heal with Noctilus. If he can get an Overcast, Invocation of the Heck, might be able to heal all this stuff together, get back into this game. He's got more summons coming too. But yeah, that Focus Fire is hurting bad, and he can't wait any longer. Comping backwards now. Still has plenty of ammo, up to 73 kills so far. Dryads putting pressure on the flanks. The Eternal Guard are destroying all this infantry back here. The cannon crews are shut down, and none of the archers have been destroyed except for that first Deepwood Scout. So that is a lot of range firepower here, and it is all being focused on Noctilus, who is just moving agonizingly slow, and he might crumble out. Invocation of the Heck might not keep him in this fight. He might die here. Oh, brutal. Yeah, if Noctilus dies, I think Exploding Hamster is going to be sent out of this tourney. Yeah. The Blade Lord can still shoot in. There's no way he escapes. Invocation of the Heck will not come back online in time. I don't think. Maybe. He's not focusing on him. He might get one. 100 HP. No one else is shooting at him. Now he's dead. The peg leg will drop. Noctilus is out of the picture, and that is a huge blow to the Vampire Pirates. Look at all these archers left. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to get back into now. Probably stayed up in the front line a little bit too long there. Really nice fire art coming in from A-Move Hacker. That was textbook. Wild Riders didn't do a whole lot, but really shows you the benefit of not overcommitting. Just allowing your archers the time they need to fire in and shoot down the high-value threats. That was kind of the issue for the Vampire Pirates here. He didn't have too many tools for putting pressure on the archers. I mean, he only killed off one of the archers this entire game. You could go for Scurvy Dogs in this matchup for sure, but that's why you had the Wild Rider hanging out right here to deal with that threat. And because he wasn't able to kill the Way Watchers or the Glade Guard, that is going to be your battle. An A-Move Hacker moving on to the grand finals to fight Zach B. Sane. Nicely played. Yeah, those archers were used super, super well. I don't know, A-Move not looking too rusty to me, man. Killing the game right now. Yeah, look at this, man. 85 kills, and that's not counting all the damage he did to single entities, too. 87 on this Deepwood Scout. The Way Watcher got 3 chevrons. Most of those earned, I'm sure, shooting at Noctilus, which is a big reason why he dropped so quick. It's hard. It's not an easy matchup for the Vampire Pirates. I like the build. So there are a couple things that make the Vampire Coast so strong. And one of the biggest right now is actually the summons of the deckhand gunners. Just the regular pistol gunners. They do the exact same thing that regular dickhands do. They meat shield, but you can put them in guard mode and they continue firing the entire time. And that damage will rack up super quick. I mean, you dive into the rear with your Glade Lord, for instance, and they summon some of those. Getting full volleys into your Glade Lord, you're not going to be around for very much longer. So he spent a lot of his Winds of Magic trying to get those on the field. Wasn't able to get a really high value Overcast, Invocation of the Heck that would have probably put his Morghuls and Noctilus back into a really healthy position. And once he lost Noctilus, he just lost any impetus. Any momentum he might have had was completely gone. Very well played from the Wood Elves there. Textbook engagement. And looks like A-Move Hacker will be moving on to the grand finals for a best of 5 against Zach B. Sane. Well played to Exploding Hamster. Going in to the next series now. No special rules for this tournament, just playing regular old vanilla. We're playing banner rules, so Aerocrash's banner rules, which means governs your unit caps, governs how much you can spend on X and Y. But basic tournament rules, essentially. Alright, Zach and A-Move Hacker, if you guys want to come back in, we'll get this thing popping off. Let me look at the maps real quick. Hope you guys are enjoying, and thank you for joining me on this disgusting day, dude. I swear to God, Virginia weather is the nastiest thing ever. We have been heat index over 105 for the past, like, 3 weeks. Horrible. Humidity here is like Florida, basically. Not my fave. Alright, Isle of the Crimson Skull is map number 1. Swish over shards, 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 swish over shards. Got him, baby. Alright, let's get A-Move back in here. I'm not even sure why he left. Does he think he won the tournament? A-Move's like, I already won, boys, I'm out. Give me my money. We do have a prize pool, again, courtesy of Tank today. And we did have a donation that will make that prize pool go even larger. So thank you guys so much for those. Much appreciated. Did not crash. It's still there. Lobby, yep, hello. Doesn't show my name in the lobby because I'm spectating. Vacation to Seattle? Dude, it's just rain there, man. It's just rain in Washington. I don't know how you guys' weather has been recently, but yeah, God, it's been absolutely abysmal here. I'm sweating through my PJ pants right now. I might take my pants off too. Yeah, real Slaneshi up in this hoe. Actually, I literally am taking my pants off now. Sing us out, Nelly. UK is ridiculously hot too? I've heard that. I've actually never been to Europe in my life. It's something I need to change. I was actually planning on doing a... I don't know exactly where we would have gone in Europe this winter. It would have been this fall or winter, I think. We were thinking Belgium. We were thinking Germany. We were thinking Prague. But my homie was also thinking that he might want to do like Spain, Italy, do the warmer ones. I personally think I'd rather do Northern Central and Eastern Europe. Probably gonna skip France. I'm sure there are plenty of wonderful people there. But I've heard it's not always the most hospitable to foreigners. I had a couple friends didn't have great experiences there, but France is a beautiful country, of course. But yeah, I think Belgium. I definitely want to see Prague. I know that. Unfortunately, COVID kind of threw a wrench in that whole plan. So I don't know when that will become viable again. But I have never been to Europe. Mexico is the farthest I've been outside the country. Bit of a shame. Fantastic beer indeed. Yeah, that's one of the best things about going to Europe, man. I love me some European beer. There's a famous brewery called, well, I don't know the name of the brewery, but Weihenstephaner Stefaner is the, I think that's the brewery. It's like the oldest brewery in Europe, or maybe in the world. It's like 600 years old. But their Weiss beer is super damn good. I get that all the time. And then there's some Belgian triple ales. I think Chimay is one, Grand Reserve, and a couple others that I get when I go for the premium beers that I really, really like. But yeah, a full beer tour of Europe would be badass, man. What I don't know, and I'm sure you guys could tell me, in most places in Europe, do you get your beer warm or cold? Because I know in America, we do everything just frozen. Like, we have all kinds of ice. We have draft beer that comes out in frozen mugs, that kind of thing. I prefer my beer ice cold. But a lot of people like their beer warm, and that's apparently you can get better flavor out that way. I personally never had warm beer. The idea of it kind of freaks me out, but do they serve it warm in Europe? Or does it just kind of depend where you go? I would imagine it just kind of depends. Or you could just ask for it, but obviously I've not been there, so I have no idea. Cold? Yeah, cold. Cold. Yeah, Duvel. Duvel is sick. Yeah, I've gotten that a lot with Chimay Grand Reserve. Those two are really good triple ales. Never iced, but cool. Well, yeah. I mean, you don't want to put ice in the beer. What I do when I'm at home, I will run a mug underwater to get it completely wet, then throw it in the freezer for like 15-20 minutes. Bring it out, and then the whole mug is just perfectly frozen, and that'll keep your beer nice and chilled, which is nice. Only the UK does warm? Yeah, that makes sense. I can see brown ales being just warm. It makes sense. Duvel is so damn good, dude. So I personally never really got into the triples until relatively recently. I do not like IPAs. I don't know how many of you guys have had it. I'm sure you Americans have. It's mostly an American thing, but I know that it's been spreading out to Europe as well. They've been experimenting too. I don't like super hoppy beers. I like wheat beers, and I like ones that are... Well, I like fruit beers too. I like the Ghostes. I like the sour. I love sours. I had a strawberry rhubarb sour in San Diego that was, oh my god. I would kill to have that again, man. Amazing summer beer. But yeah, wheat beer and Pilsners are typically what I like going for. Or lagers. The holy trifecta. So I think we're going for Tomb Kings and Wood Elves in this game. Dawi and Norska are banned. And A-Move Hacker is sticking with what he knows best. I've heard good things about Amsterdam. I'm not much into the whole weed thing, though. I don't smoke. I don't know how many of you guys do. I'm not much into the marijuana. I mean, obviously, I've gotten a high a few times. I didn't... Freshman year of college, I had a brownie. And 2 hours into the experience, I felt nothing. I said, yo, this is the most useless thing ever. One of my dorm mates told us to watch Dead Snow, which is a European movie. He said, oh my god, this movie is so damn good. You have to watch it. It's basically Nazi zombies killing people at a ski resort in, like, Daneland or something. I don't even know where it is. Sweden or Denmark or something. I don't know. But we watched that. It was a horrible movie. Terrible, but funny, I guess. God, it was so bad. But had a brownie. 2 hours in, didn't feel a goddamn thing. Said, this is the most pointless experience I've ever done. Why did I do this? I must just be really highly tolerant. 5 minutes later, I get hit with a tidal wave of emotion. The entire room starts spinning. And I say, dude, I'm done. I'm going to bed. I lay down, my entire ceiling just spun for like the next 3 hours. I couldn't fall asleep. Horrible. And then I was done with edibles for the rest of my life. So this is pointless. Why would I do this? This is horrible. Years ago, I had a vacation in South Germany and the Czech Republic where we were looking at a lot of the historical castles in the area. Each evening we had local food and beer. That sounds great. Don't smoke either. Not like an overwhelming part of Amsterdam like all the movies portray it as. That's a great beer and food, though, I can imagine. Yeah, I don't really know what their food is like there, to be honest. I don't know what the Dutch do for food. It does sound like a great place to visit, for sure. I'll put it on the list. I did watch a lot of Dutch football growing up. A lot of them in the World Cup when they had Wesley Sneijder and Arjen Robben and Gio van Bronckhorst. Good times. Good World Cups. I still remember the almost like midfield Gio van Bronckhorst goal. I think that was in the finals or semifinals of one of the World Cups. Maybe 2010. Disgusting. Disgusting strike. With pace. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to say anything until this isn't doing anything, and that's when it kicks in. So true, so true. Okay, Tomb Kings versus Wood Elves. Zach B. Sane controlling the undead Skelly Boys in teal. We've got Sepulchral Stalkers, baby. Stalking. Look at them. Look at this model. I actually adore this unit. They are so damn cool. Look at them. Their armor-piercing missile fire. Got some Nehekara Horsemen. Expect to see a lot of those. They'll be the prey. Well, they'll be preying on the Wood Elf backline, or they'll be trying to anyway. Wild Riders are something they're going to certainly have to look out for. But yeah, we've gone for a lot of mobility here. The Tomb Kings, a lot of Chariot play too. Skeleton Warriors. This is a high micro build. This is an intense build to micro. But if you can stay on top of it, could do some serious damage. A lot of mobility here. Cetra on his Kemrian War Sphinx. 490 weapon strength, my lord. That is a big chungus. That is a war kitty of the gods if I've ever seen one. Cetra does have Nir's Incantation of Protection, and he has the Blessed Blade of Patra for that blinded and melee attack with a defense debuff. More Stalkers out on this side. 4, A-Move Hacker and the Wood Elves. Wildwood Rangers. You don't see them every day, but remember, they got a huge rework. They only have bonus versus large in the woods now, but crazy stat line. 48 melee attack, 36 melee defense. Big old great weapon unit that can just chunk through a lot of Tomb King's infantry. Eternal Guard in the front ranks. There is a Spellsinger of the Laurel Beasts. Again, just Transformation of Kadan. Waystalker with Arrow of Kurnis and Hawk's Eye. Got Glade Lord up top on a Forest Dragon. Prey of Anathrema, Arrow of Kurnis. Lady, of course, is how you roll. A lot of Wildwood Rangers. That's the core here. A few Waywatchers, too. So I'm thinking the Skeleton Horsemen might need to be a little bit careful. All the focus fire that'll be coming their way. Arrow of Kurnis going down on top of the Lich Priest. First one was useless. Second one wasn't too bad. Did a little bit of damage there. He's got Jest Falls Protection and Banishment. No net. Wow. Interesting. Does have Nephra Scrolls of Mighty Incantations as well. More units are nearby. More power reserve and recharge rate he gets. So we're going to see a lot of aggression out of Cetra this game. But as always, got to be careful. Prey of Anathrema and 2 Waywatchers firing in on you puts you in the ground pretty quick. Actually, it said 2. He only has 1 Waywatcher. Blade Riders coming in. Running into Spears. Got to be careful of that. Nice charge up the center from the Nehekara Horsemen. Dealing a lot of damage to the Wildwood Rangers. Here comes Cetra on that Kemrian War Sphinx. Bounding through. Yeah, and he actually has to care a lot less about that Prey of Anathrema and 1 Waywatcher. I mean, only one of them won't deal that much damage to him. Nice breath on the Lich Priest from far away. Put him down past half. But he's not super important. He doesn't have a lot of high-value spells. I mean, Banishment is nice, but Sisters of the Thorn got a little bit too close. Got the Shield of Thorns and Curse of Anra here as well. Blade Lord landing on top of the Kemrian War Sphinx, and the Nehekara Horsemen are swarming in here, trying to get a full surround off on the Forest Dragon as the Sisters of the Thorn funnel in. Wild Riders on this side charging into Skeleton Spears, who have been debuffed by the Curse of Anra here. Wildwood Rangers will be able to push through that quickly, and a big old blob forming right around here. And this might be a little bit disastrous for the Tomb Kings, actually. They've got more stuff here, but nice focus fire coming in from the Way Watchers, from the Sisters of the Thorn. If he's not able to goon out that Forest Dragon, could be bad news bears, and Lich Priest will probably die to that Glade Lord if they aren't able to come back over here. Nekara Horseman kind of stuck around in that fight with the Eternal Guard for a little bit too long. Chariots are running through the archers on this side. Stalker, oh my god, it's just a straight blob, man. Yeah, the Lich Priest is dead. Lich Priest is going to die. Didn't get a whole lot of value out of him, unfortunately. And a full map-wide heal from the Realm of Souls. The Glade Lord is sitting on Overwatch right now. On top of Lich Priest, maybe one more shot will kill him off. Tetra and the War Sphinx are relatively healthy, and I love this play from the Tomb Kings. This is huge. Look at all that damage going the way of the Forest Dragon. And remember, they have magical attacks, so they'll go through the physical resistance, and they're dealing so much damage. That Glade Lord right now, 100 damage per shot. Wow. No healing for the Glade Lord either. Remember, it's Curse, or the Laura Beast caster. I'm not going to be able to heal him at all. So the Glade Lord needs to run away. That's swept the balance bar back in the favor of the Tomb Kings a little bit, but remember, that Ushabti summon could be coming at any time now. Keep those Stalkers safe, and you've got a tool that will be great for dealing with that Glade Lord. Ushabti summon has not come yet. Sisters of the Thorn getting committed into melee. Transformation of Kadan Manticore. Gooning up on Cetra, and with the Ushabti summon, oh yeah, right on top of the Feral Manticore here. Full surround off, and they should be able to deal with that. But Cetra getting pretty low, only 2,400 health left. Zach Bisane can swoop in with the cavalry now, and he might have a clear-cut advantage at this point. Playing this very well. Overloaded this side, does a lot of damage to the Glade Lord, who probably hung out over top of the Stalkers for a little bit too long. The Way Watcher volley is coming in. 300 damage on that one. Nir's Incantation will heal him a little bit and give him that physical resist. A lot of routing on the Azrai side, and bounce bar is clear-cut in the Undead Tomb King's favor. Oh god, that Glade Lord got destroyed. She had like 2,000 HP and then just dropped immediately. 2 volleys. Waystalker still sitting in the back. But Tomb Kings might have this one. Yeah, Glade Lord's gonna rout. And I think the Tomb Kings will be able to prevent him from ever taking off again. Gonna be army losses soon. Big charge coming from the War Kitty. Oh my god. Just a torrent of blood. That's gonna be it. That's your game. Very well played from the Tomb Kings in this one. Zach Bisane did a great job of overloading that flank. Got a full surround off on the Forest Dragon. It looked a little bit bad for him for a minute there. He certainly had control over that side of the battlefield, but looked like A-Move Hacker was focus firing well into there, getting the Curse of Anrahirs down, debuffing that entire blob, getting good shots in with the Way Watchers on top of the high-value threats. Unfortunately, as soon as that Forest Dragon took back up into the air, Volker Stalker sat down below, fired in with the armor-piercing ranged option, and remember, they deal magical damage from range, which is huge, because Forest Dragons have less HP than your typical Star Dragon or Moon Dragon, and the trade-off there is that they have the nice physical resistance of 22% or 20%, but completely bypassed by the magical attacks. Took about 1,500 damage in the span of 10 seconds. Blade Lord broke off, and from there she wasn't able to make any impact on the battle. Landed one more time and then died. I was curious to see the full Wildwood Ranger build. You don't see that too often. I don't think it's necessarily bad against the Tomb Kings, because they will do well against Tomb Guard. They will do well against all the Skelly Boys. But didn't really give him an infantry fight here, did he? I mean, he went for pure mobility. And there wasn't a forest for them to fight in. I mean, there's a lot of trees on that map, but realistically, you have to move all the way to the white line if you want to engage there, and then if you rout, you're just off the map entirely. It's really dangerous to fight undead forces near the white line because there's so much fear and terror. So they did well. I mean, 2 chevrons earned, 78 kills, not bad. Way Watchers, not a lot of kills, but of course they were shooting at Cetra pretty much the entire game. Wild Riders, solid, but nothing too impressive. Blade Lord was fine. But yeah, Zach Bisane with the full mobility build and the patience with that Ushabti summon to kill off the transformation of Kadan Manticore that was threatening Cetra. Good combination for sure. Might have maybe gone a little bit too hard trying to kill the Lich Priest. I mean, he had banishment and flawless protection, but he's dismounted, so I'd say he's probably only around 800 gold. Neither of those spells are incredibly impactful. Maybe not worth diving in there to try to kill him. Just sit over top and shoot him to death or something. But interesting game nonetheless. Transformation of Kadon from the Lore of Beasts was useful, but not quite enough. And we're going into a game 2 on Shagrath Strand. So Zach B. saying up 1-0 in this grand final so far. Yeah, the spit shots were brutal, dude. Sepulchral Stalkers are an impressive unit, man. Especially with the change to their ranged option. So, remember, before, they had that kind of lackadaisical, really slow, very little momentum on their range attack. And a lot of spread. But the spread was bad for it, because what happened is that, essentially, you shoot into an infantry regiment, and 90% of the shots would just go over their head. Like, the bottom portion of the petal, I'd say like a flower petal that kind of opens up, would hit the unit, but then like the rest of the projectiles, like 90% of them would just go right over the top and deal no damage, unless you were sitting on a unit from above, like on a hill, shooting down. So it was not effective against infantry at all. Dealt very little damage. It had no armor piercing. So they changed it. Probably one of the coolest overhauls to the Tomb Kings we've had since their launch back in, what, 2018? Beginning of 2018? January, I think, yeah. And they changed it so that they now have high speed, high maneuverability projectiles that essentially deal great armor-piercing damage. And we saw it there. Just shredded that Forest Dragon. Destroyed him. Awesome stuff. And we're seeing Dawi again. I mean, A-Move does love his Dawi. We'll see how they do. So, Dwarfs versus Lizardmen. This one can get pretty crazy. For obvious reasons, you don't want to go for a lot of dinos here. We've talked about how good the Dwarfs are at shutting down single-entity monsters. Talked about how Carnosaurs and Stegodons just get destroyed by Triumph Torpedoes and by Thunderers. And by Rune of Wrath and Ruin, of course. So, what you'll typically see from the Lizardmen is super wide infantry build. Just completely spread the field and swarm it with Saurus and Skinks. Now, the benefit you get there is the Skinks can run around the flanks, put pressure on the Rangers, on the Thunderers, on the cannons, and they have all the speed in the world to dodge the Dwarf Phalanx. Meanwhile, Saurus will slowly, very slowly, chunk their way through the front line, and eventually the idea is to just outgrind them and push through to the high value stuff in the rear. Once you do that, you win. If you're the Dwarfs, the way you counter that is also go very wide on the infantry, but there are actually a couple things they could do. You can go for like a Hammerer Core, which is not necessarily like the meta pick here, but I think you can catch an opponent off guard. If you go like heavy metal in this matchup, Ironbreakers and Hammers and that kind of thing, you can actually catch a Skink and Saurus build completely off guard. You can shred them hard. Now, we'll probably see at least one big dino out of the Lizardmen here, I would imagine. Just something that gives you a little bit more impetus, a bit more killing power, and the terror. Pretty useful, but you just have to be super cautious how you use them. Like Mazda Mundi, you can see play against the Dwarfs for sure. Stegodon is a huge problem for the Dwarfs. And it would wreck a heavy metal build, it would wreck Hammers, it would wreck Ironbreakers. But it also means that you're spending like 2,800, 3,000 gold on a unit that could disappear in 5 seconds with a Trollhammer volley. So risky pick, but a lot of ways to handle it. We'll see. Shagrath Strand, we march. So what are you guys thinking? This is going to be a Dwarfs game or a Lizardman game? Is A-Move Hacker going to tie this up 1-1? Or are we going up with a 2-0 with Zach B. Sane heading into a best-of-5 series? If he wins this, he's going to have a commanding lead. It'll be a tough road back for A-Move. But if he ties it up here, it would be a really interesting series. So Zach B. Sane commanding the Lizardmen. A move hacker commanding the Dawi for the second time this tournament, and he won convincingly against Exploding Hamster in the first game. And if you are enjoying the stream, please hit that like button, push it out to a bit more people. Would be awesome, thank you. Here we go. I'm gonna be very curious to see the Lizardmen build here. Ripperdactyls are also an interesting tool in this matchup. You can go heavy flyer. Ripperdactyls are actually kind of tailor-made for killing dwarfs. And yes, indeed, we do have some flyers. The Pawok Sentinels for their drop rocks that causes armor sundering damage. Deals a ridiculous amount to cannon crews and thunderers and that kind of thing. Pterodon Riders, 2 Rippers flying overhead as well. And yeah, a lot of infantry and no dino play. That sounds about right. So we do have the Henoin over here. The Prophet of Sotek. The twin-tailed Avatar. On a horned one. So he's got poison attacks. He's got a lot of missile resist, transformation of Kadon, and is that Pan? What is that? Amber Spear. Okay. So this is an interesting move as well. What you'll often see people do, especially with a highly mobile caster, the reason you bring Amber Spear is you move out to the flank of a dwarf infantry formation and you overcast it. It will carry through the entire formation and sometimes kill upwards of 30, 35 troops, which is huge against Iron Breakers, for instance. Hammers, you can like one-shot a unit if you cast that well. Not fully one-shot, but really severely hurt them. Razordon, a hunting pack over on this side. Their armor-piercing missiles, going to be hiding in the woods. Saurus front line, lot of Red Crescent Skinks as well. A lot of infantry and flyers. Oh my god, this is gonna be a crazy game, man. This is gonna be a crazy game. I can already see what A Move Hacker wants to do. Yeah, we're going for a full gyro army. The Air Force is coming in strong. Those all brimstones or just regular? Brimstone, 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 brimstone. He has 5 gyrocopter brimstone guns. I believe that is allowed in Aerocratics banner rules. You have Ulthar's Rangers, a full-on Dawi box, and some bolt throwers as well. Okay, that is some defensive geometry, if I've ever seen it. Y'all. I can't imagine why people don't like dwarves. We'll see how this goes. This should be interesting. Okay, so the way you deal with this, I mean, the drop rocks is actually going to be huge here. Look at how set up he is right here. Now, I don't know if he's going to stick to this formation. It's very possible he'll break out of it once this battle gets underway, but for now, he's going to sit in there while the bolt throwers fire in. There's not a lot of range tools right here, which means the Pawok Sentinels and the Pterodon Riders could come in and drop a nasty, nasty drop rocks in the center of this formation. And there are Nurgling's Iron Breakers, which are a linchpin of any box build, of course. 82 melee defense is the highest of any unit in Mortal Empires. 125 armor and 8,000 HP is also pretty crazy. Hard to deal with. Yeah, Fortunate Sun intensifies. Looking like Vietnam out here. Too bad we're not in the jungles of Lustria. Give me some Credence Clearwater revival, am I right, boys? So the Brimstone guns, 5 of them. Interesting, because there's not a lot of large targets for them to shoot at, right? And yeah, they deal some damage to Saurus and stuff, but you don't really want to be shooting Saurus with them. Yeah, that Amber Spear could be huge here. Look for that to get some serious value. Now, with 5 gyrocopters, they should be able to zone him out and prevent him from getting into that flanking position for a while. That's where the Rippers have to come in. They've got to be over here hounding these gyrocopters the entire time, so they cannot just sit there and shoot Henoin to death. The fact they're sitting back right now could be bad news. There are some Rippers on this side, though. But yeah, gotta be careful with him. And you can do some dodging too. Gyrocopters are not super accurate if you're able to dodge back and forth with a single entity monster. That's a lot of damage on the Saurus for sure. We've got 17 volleys left apiece. So they could kill 2 or 3 full Saurus relatively easily. That's not even counting the bombs. The Razordons are going to be good versus Gyros here too. They have very quick projectiles. Look at that damage on the Gyros. It's a good pick. I like that a lot. So Pterodon's already tying down these Gyros. Ulthar's Rangers firing in, trying to get rid of the Pawok Sentinels. They are slowed down by the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin. And here come Lizardmen swarming in. Bolt Throwers, not going to get too much value this game, I don't think. Up to 15 and 18 kills, so certainly not useless, but I imagine they'll get swarmed relatively quick. And yeah, look at this. Once they're getting chased, this is when the Ripperdactyls can start making a lot of value back super fast. And they are in on top of the Gyrocopters for now. Already 2 or 3 of those Gyrocopters have dropped. They're running down into melee to get away from the terrors in the night. There are these Ripperdactyl Riders. They have 135 weapon strength and a ton of bonus for infantry and AP, so don't expect the Ulthar's Rangers to be around for too long. I like how Zach Sane's handling this so far. Doing a good job for sure. Managed to get in on top of the cannon crews. Managed to get a rear charge into the Dwarf Infantry. Saurus charging in. Swarming on top of the Longbeards. And they're going to be able to push through on top of the Ulthar's Rangers pretty quick too. Razordon a hunting pack, getting a ton of value. A-Move Hacker just running away, trying to get out of there with all his gyros, but the Razordons can now zone them out, and that means all this infantry is left unsupported. With that said, the Dwarfs might actually do okay in this infantry fight. The Saurus took a lot of damage on the way in, and Skanks obviously aren't going to do a lot either. That is a transformation of Kadan, certainly going to help, but they have enough tools to deal with the Ulthar's Rangers and the Norgrimling's Ironbreakers. I am not sure yet. Maybe over pursuing for the moment. Hanowin is on top of the Longbeards for now. They'll probably rout pretty quick. Ulthar's Rangers just kind of sitting there, not doing a whole lot. Transformation Kadan on top of them. Shutting down the range play, exactly what you want to do if you are the Lizardmen here. And the cohort of Sotek is full HP too. A lot of HP on them. Yeah, balance bar is in favor of the Children of the Old Ones at the moment. This Razordon pick was clutch so far. Only 2 kills, both those on gyros, and a lot of damage on them. Pushing them backwards. A-Move Hacker might be losing the micro a teeny bit. It's hard. These full gyro builds are hard to micro, especially you got 2 Ripperdactyl chasing after you. Dwarfs cleaned up the front engagement super fast, though. Look at that, man. They crushed it. Absolutely destroyed the Lizardmen infantry on the way in. The Razordon's now firing in on top of the Norgrimling's Ironbreakers. There we go. Amber Spear overcast into the flank, and that dealt a tremendous amount of damage. About 1,500 or so to those Ironbreakers. Exactly what you want to see. Dwarfs are holding for now. All their important units are still online, and a lot of Lizardmen infantry is routing for sure. The Rune Lord maybe getting dragged down by the Saurus. Here come the cohort of Sotek. Big Blaster Charge volley coming in. And Refuse to Die should pop pretty soon here. Oh man, that's brutal. You might not have it online. You might not be able to cast it right now. Another transformation put on Manticore, but that will artificially inflate the balance bar. As soon as it dies, that'll swing it back. I think the Dwarves still will have a chance here, honestly. Lizardmen are running out of infantry, that's for sure. Killing those Ironbreakers is going to be challenging. But gyros are getting chased off by the Ripperdactyls. And microed very well by the Lizardmen so far. Brutal cast! Oh my god, he just got 30 kills on those Ironbreakers. And that might seal it. Oh my god, that was so nasty. It's so hard to dodge, too, if you're the Dwarfs. It's a fast cast time. Look at the line of destruction left in its wake. Look at all those Ironbreakers. Look at all that value. Oh my god, it was disgusting. Yeah, Tahanoan's a good pick here for sure, and he's taking no damage at all. Yeah. A-Move is going to call it. Wow. Just straight up concede. Well played from Lizardman there. Tahanoan was a solid pick. 66 kills. About 45 or 50 of them were on Ironbreakers with that Amber Spear. Going right through the flank. But I think the MVP might have been those Razordon in combination with the Ripperdactyls. Amazing way to zone out the gyrocopters, and Zach Bisane was all over that build. The dwarves, he knew exactly what was coming, or it feels like it knew what was coming anyway. I mean, that was very impressive. He had the right build. Not a massive amount of infantry, just a 7. 4 Saurus, 3 Skinks. Hopefully the next Dawi update will be Gyro War Machine focused. That's my personal opinion. I think that's a lot better than going for the Shard Dragons and the Rune Golems and stuff. I'm really just not a fan of giving the dwarfs monsters. But a warship, a Thunder Barge, would be really damn cool. I think the War Machines themselves are awesome. I'm okay with the Rune Golems. The Shard Dragon, absolutely not. You cannot give Dawi Dragons. That's a no-go, my dude. But yeah, this build, holy crap. That was impressive. And Zach Bisane's gonna go up 2-0. So, the way you handle the gyrocopters here is you basically got a delta split. Basically, if the Ripperdactyls chase after one, you let that one run away, and you force the Ripperdactyls to chase. If they don't chase, well then your other gyrocopters are firing in with their brimstone guns, and you gotta deal with the flyers first. But it's really hard when there are 4 powerful flyers, each one of them capable of killing a gyrocopter by themselves. Hard to deal with that, and Razordons firing in from below. Not sure I've ever seen them used in this matchup, but super good pick. Dealt a tremendous amount of damage to the flyers for the Dawi. Like that. Well played. Oh, he thought it was done? Jesus. Tourney isn't over, my dude. Thought it was done. That's why I conceded. Oh, Lord. And it's not about flying. It's about the fact that they're a dragon and they're a monster. It's really just not thematic for the Dawi at all. In my opinion, of course. I swear to God, a move, if you shut down your computer in a rage, I'm gonna be really pissed. Not even on Discord now. Alright, he's coming back. Thanks, sweet baby Jesus. That would have been bad. Alright, so Zach Bisane is up 2-0 now. Needs one more game and he'll take this best of 5 series. But I'm thinking A Move Hacker will come back with a vengeance here. I think he's got a chance to bring this one back. Alright, the map is MP Heorot Ridge. Let's get it poppin'. Yeah, that would have been a Feels Bad Man for sure. Imagine, dude, I've been there. I've been playing in tournaments before and just been disgusted with my performance and wanted to just like shut off my computer after. It's been a thing. I don't think he needs to feel embarrassed about either of the games so far, but he can do better, and I think he can bring this back for sure. Yeah, rage in video games is definitely a thing. I've been pissed quite a few times playing Total War before. I'm not sure you guys have seen me rage too much. It has happened. I have unleashed the beast. It happens, I think, more in FPS games. Like, I definitely get pissed at Hunt Showdown. And Dota. Oh my god, Dota. I don't unleash on other people, though. I usually just unleash quietly to myself. or yelling with my teammates in the chat, but not at my teammates. Imagine a melee-focused gyro. Dude, I've been thinking about that for a long time, actually. So, I don't think that ever existed in the tabletop, but a Dawi gyrocopter with rotor blades designed purely for melee would be pretty cool. Think of it kind of like a flying chariot. It lands, it swoops down, it slices through a formation, and then takes off again. That could be pretty crazy. That would not be a hateful addition. I kind of like that. Dude, yeah, Dota is... I have an obscene amount of hours on that game. I played it for a long time. I think like 2,000 hours at least. Maybe closer to 3. I played it since sophomore year of college. But I haven't played it in a year and a half or so. Like, in terms of blood pressure rising, it's up there amongst the worst games. It's an amazing game. It's really fun. But it kind of has the issue where you can't surrender in the first 15 minutes like you can in League. Which is good because you get to enjoy your wins, but it means you have to suffer the losses. And there are a lot of Dota games, man, where you're done in like the first 10 minutes, like it's just over. They're up like 12-0, 12-2. Their carry super farms. Your mid's feeding and it's just over. And then you have to suffer for another like 35 minutes before the game ends. That is by far the biggest issue with Dota. I wouldn't want them to add a surrender mechanic to it, but... because it means that when you win, you get to enjoy it and crush people, and that's awesome. When you lose, it's brutal. And obviously it has... I mean, it's a MOBA, so it has one of the most cancerous communities online. Period. It's bad. That's why I haven't played it for a long time. Going Empire, banning vampire counts and Bretonia. So we're getting a little bit of Sigmarite action in here. Faith, Steel, and Gunpowder. 3 things that make the Empire great. See who they match up against. So micro is actually not that important in Dota. It's really more about decision making. There are a couple heroes in Dota that are very much about micro. Chen is one of them. You can summon all the creeps of the jungle to his side. Micro is very important with a hero like that, but generally speaking, it's not so much about micro. It's about learning how to last hit, which is in and of itself not a particularly challenging task. It's just when you're faced with someone else that's also good in denying that things can get kind of challenging. But yeah, I mean, you've got one hero to move. The micro's not too bad. But the game knowledge and the positioning and the understanding of where to be and when to be there, that takes a long, long time. Skill curve on that game is ridiculous. I mean, a lot of people have been playing it since Warcraft 3. Playing for a decade. Alright, so it's looking like we got Dark Elves and Empire. I love this matchup. Typically, it rolls a lot on heavy cav. And I love heavy cav play. My favorite type of unit in Warhammer or Total War in general. Oh, he's not going Dark Elves. No. Wanted him, that would have been sick. Doing Lizardmen. Maybe. We'll see. And actually, you can say the same thing for Lizardmen too. You could definitely go like full Horde 1 and Cold 1 Spear Rider build. You definitely go heavy cav here. Gotta be careful though, because obviously Alt-Orc Graphites and Demi-Graphites with Halberds are a problem. So, Dinos will certainly see some play in this matchup. He's going Lizardmen. I'm gonna be curious what he goes for here. Solar Engines are also a very common pick. Really good unit. I've seen double Solar Engine play a lot. Basically, you snipe out high-value targets, and you snipe out the enemy cav, and you just sit back and shoot stuff. But, obviously, Hammer of the Witches and cannons can throw a wrench in that plan. And they will wreck Solar Engine Bastiladons, too. So, generally speaking, I'd say full-on rush build for Lizardmen is probably a little bit more common. Have I ever tried EVE Online? No. I saw an ad for it the other day. It was like 5 minutes of just people cursing at the mic and playing it. It looks crazy. That's also the game where your ships can be like 5,000 real dollars, right? And then you lose it and you lose it forever. That just sounds like the kind of game people would commit suicide over. It doesn't seem worth it for me. I don't think I'd play it. Like, can you imagine playing a game where you can lose thousands of real dollars? Lose it. Not pay it and get whatever content you paid for. Pay it and then your ship dies and you don't get it back. I don't actually know how the game works, so I could be entirely wrong, but I've definitely heard of raids and like sleeper cell agents in that game infiltrating enemy fleets and stuff and like bringing ships over to the other side and just crazy Machiavellian politics that just you wouldn't imagine in your wildest dreams in any like normal game. That just seems insane to me. Yeah, I've been avoiding games that make me want to put hundreds or thousands of hours in, and there are some games that are like that. EVE is, I'm sure, like that. Elite Dangerous is like that to an extent. Anything with a massive skill curve and you have to put a lot of hours into even remotely get semi-proficient. Yeah, I've been avoiding those kind of games. Hell, even Mortal Kombat. I played a decent amount of MK11. I got my money's worth for sure. But just to learn a character, you've got to sit down for like 8 hours straight and figure them out. That's a lot of investment to just even start having fun with them online. And I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to that kind of thing too. If I'm going to learn a character or if I'm going to learn how to play a game, I want to get good at it. I'm, if I do say so myself, pretty damn good at games. Kind of a big deal. So like, if I'm going to actually play it, I have to get good at it. And that's the issue. If I have to put 8 hours into every character in MK11 or 50 hours even to get to the base level of understanding of a game, that's a lot. Yeah, barriers to entry is, again, it's a big reason why I'm also not playing tabletop on Warhammer Fantasy, Age of Sigmar, or 40k. I love the setting. I love the models. Hell, I don't want to spend hours of my day painting stuff. I'd also do a horrible job of it, probably. And I could just be playing like a normal video game where I don't have to invest my life. Alright, so we've got Lizardmen, we got Empire. This could be for all the marbles, folks. It could be the end of A-Move Hacker's run. It could be Zach B. Sane's ascendancy, or Lizardmen take it. It'll be 2-1, and A-Move will be right back into this tournament. We'll see. I don't like, you know, taking sides here, but I think A-Move Hacker should win this game. So we can get a little bit more gaming in, boys. What do you think? Well, I will never trash on anybody who's playing games. I mean, hell, if you want to spend 8 hours a day playing stuff, go ahead, my dude. Enjoy. But yeah, some of those games are just not for me. Let's take a look at builds here, shall we? So we've got Karl Franz on Deathclaw, floating overhead. We have Empire Knights and Reichsguard on the flanks, Outrider Grenade Launchers and Outriders in the front, Royal Altar of Griffites, Sigmar Sons, Spearmen, and, oh, interesting. Very interesting. Hellblaster Volley Gun. So this is a cool unit. This can actually deal with pretty much any threat the Lizardmen have to offer. It's good versus single entities, it's good versus infantry, it's good versus cav. Only thing is, can you keep it online? That is the big question. So he's gonna be sitting up right over here in this corner. Gotta make sure that we have enough space near the white line. Yeah, as long as this cav doesn't sit here, then this is a fine deployment, I believe. based on our rule set. Got a Jade Wizard, Regrowth, Earthblood, as per usual, and Ranks Guard 2. On the other side, a move Hacker. Million Skinks in the front ranks. Feral Bastiladon, a little bit of Terror in the front as well. Skink Cohort, a lot of them. Yeah, and Heavy Cav, Horde ones. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it, dude. 3 Cold One Spear Riders and a Horde one. So he is going heavy metal on the Cav. Red Crested Skinks are the front ranks, but yeah, it's all about the cavalry here. And Zora Soulblood. It's a sad day, man. Can I just say, it's a sad day that the last defender of Zodal is never picked. Kronkar needs some love. I remember he used to be the meta. I remember he used to be considered strong. But then the rest of the Warhammer 2 factions came out and he quickly went by the wayside. And he was given no more love. And Kronkar sees no play anymore. Jedi Mazda Mundi, $5 going with Empire on this one. So you think Zach B. Sane is going to go for the clean sweep, the 3-0. We shall find out soon enough, shall we? Cav game indeed. But yeah, this is all about the Cav. And Karl Franz on Deathclaw. Who is, I mean, he's straight out the meta. And the face of Warhammer Fantasy Battle. By the way, I did do a collaboration with Butch Hartman and Tuna. He has a YouTube channel. He's the creator of Danny Phantom and Fairly Odd Parents. Did a collab with them. An interview that's already up on YouTube, and I also did a Warhammer 2 video that he'll be drawing some Warhammer characters while I describe them. So if you want to go check that out on his channel, feel free. Just get to see my beautiful face. So check it out, my dudes. Did that interview like 3 months ago and he just uploaded it, so it took a while, but I wasn't actually sure he was going to upload it. I haven't watched the interview. I probably never will. I'm not going to that comment section because, generally speaking, people are dicks on the internet, and I don't want to know what people are saying. So I just didn't bother looking. Hopefully they were nice. Maybe they weren't. No idea. Won't know. But yeah, check that out if you feel like it. The Warhammer 2 collab that comes, I guess, soonish, I hope. Should be fun. It's a fun video. He's just drawing all those characters in the Fairly Odd Parent style. So, Karl Franz on Deathclaw, flying overhead. Got Outriders and Grenade Launchers moving up to do a little bit of skirmishing. And the Hellblaster Volley Gun opening up now on the cohort of Sotek. Usadai might pop for them soon. Keep them alive. Already lost 15 models in that opening volley. Many a great hero have fallen to power creep indeed. This is true, this is true. I mean, on paper, Kronkar's not terrible, but just hard for him to get value now compared to some of the other beasts. Oh my lord. These cohort of Sotek are being shredded. Fusadai finally pops, and he'll probably stop shooting at them now. Out on that side, we got Rice Guard with an ambush on the Skink cohort. Outrider Grenade Launchers continuing to fire in on the Javelins on this side. And a mobile force, a strike force right here, getting a little bit too close to the white line. We'll need to move away from that soon. Deathclaw skirting away. Horde ones put a lot of pressure on this stuff. Empire Knights, and ooh, they are 66 speed. These are 78. Might be able to catch up, but he'll pull back now. Yeah, Deathclaw was thinking about going in, but I don't know if that's worth it, dude. Against Horde ones, that might be pretty scary. Oh, you can get fully surrounded and munched on by an Old Blood. That is super dangerous, and Empire Knights are not going to like that fight either. Royal Altar Griffites are far away, and this is where they need to be, right here. Kronkar, or sorry, the Old Blood is just going to murder Karl Franz. I don't care if you have regrowth. I don't think Deathclaw's going to survive that fight. That was incredibly dangerous, and he might get punished super fast here. Empire Knights got caught out by the Spear Riders as well, but the Grenade Launchers are turning that back. Nice charge. Karl Franz might escape, but look at how close he is to the white line. If he routes, he's gone anyway. Nice block from Zach B. Sane. Karl Franz will escape. Earthblood and Regrowth will keep him in the fight, but wow, that was dangerous. And while that was happening, well, I guess the Hellmaster Volley Gun's still alive, actually. Halberds pushing them back valiantly while the Sigmar Suns push forward into the rear. Empire Knights got run over, though. They're terrified off. Horde ones are... they're half HP. Royal Altar of Griffites have not joined the party on this side, which is where they really want to be. But Karl Franz will survive. and we will see the power of overcast regrowths. While all this stuff routes off the map. Oh my god, 3 full cav units gone already. That's rough for the Empire. Here comes the Carnosaur and Horn One's Goon Squad. Halberds are nearby. Infantry fight going the way of Lizardmen too, and I'd say they have the advantage for now, for sure. We've got a lot more cav on the field. The Royal Altar Griffites have chunked their way through these Cold One Spear Riders quickly. They terrified them off. Another transformation of Kadan coming in. And we'll probably deal with the Royal Altar Griffites, but yeah. Empire should win on this side for sure. Over here though, a little bit more rough for the Imperial ones. Hellblaster Volley Gun is offline. Got some value, 50 kills, not too bad. Outriders get some good volleys in on the Source Old Blood too, but a full attack and a swipe from the T-Rex should take 3 or 4 of their models down. Bouncebar says even. I'd say this is advantage Lizardmen, but Deathclaw and Karl Franz are always a force of nature. See what they do. This is standard vanilla rules, my dude. We're using banner rules. We're just playing vanilla right now. Nothing too special. Transformation of Kadan going down on Karl Franz. Flock of Doom as well. Sigmar's Sons are on their last legs. Source Old Blood full surround off on Karl Franz here. With the Basilodon in, get the Old Blood in, and Karl Franz could die pretty quick. But I think that A Move Hacker is doing the right thing. Get rid of the support first. Once the Royal Altar Griffites are dead, then you can deal with Karl Franz, and he has a full surround off on them. It's an Earthblood though. Uh-oh, Karl Franz coming in from behind. It's getting dangerous. The Royal Altar Griffites are getting dragged down. We will get finished off pretty soon here, I think. All the cav from both sides getting terror-routed off. Bounce bar a little bit in favor of the Lizardmen right now. King Cohort dealing with the Halberds out here. Should be able to win that fight. Halberds are just not great in this match. Ah, now they got more HP. But 2 full King Cohorts. See how that goes. A lot of terror routes coming in now. Bryce Guard breaking off. Royal Altar Griffites breaking off. Karl Franz is low. And with the Basilodon nearby, it's a lot of HP to cut through. Bounce bar swinging in the Lizardmen's favor. And I think we've got a Children of the Old Ones victory in the works here. Very well played from A Move Hacker. Barring some kind of miracle with the Jada Wizard dead, Karl Franz losing all his support, should be over pretty soon. In a battle of Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2, Old World versus New. Looks like the New World will have the leg up in this one. Yeah, full surround. Deathclaw is dead. Karl Franz is dead. The Emperor is dead. Army losses kicks in, and that's going to be a win for the Lizardmen. So, I think we saw the strength of the full heavy cav build there. As I said, for the Dark Elves, usually go heavy cav. Usually, Dread Knights are actually not a bad idea. Knights of the Ebon Claw, Cold One Knights, you'll see a lot of them. Same idea for the Lizardmen. I mean, Cold One Spear Riders are essentially the same unit. You get a little bit better stats overall from Rampage kicking in. Primal Instincts, rather. But yeah, the Horned Ones. Got 1 Chevron, 24 kills. Got the full surround off on Karl Franz, which is really where they earned most of their value back. I don't know what to say about healing, man. Like, it still makes for interesting games. And the nice thing about healing is that you just die so quick in Warhammer 2 that it's a good thing that there's counterplay to it. I mean, it'd be horrible if Karl Franz just died in the first 15 seconds of games. But healing is just so much better than so many other Lords of Magic, and it's the only way to get full value out of those important single entity monsters. And we saw Karl Franz go from a full surround and almost no HP to full HP just off the back of 2 spells. So, it's crazy to see that. I think Zach Misane probably got a little bit too aggressive there with Deathclaw. Dove right into the teeth of that heavy cav rush. And a Carnosaur and Horned Ones are going to beat the brakes off Deathclaw every single time. Only way Karl Franz does well there is by cycle charging in. Nice thing about Horned Ones, they have a lot of mass, a lot of armor, and they won't let you cycle charge. That full surround, you went all the way down to about 1500 HP. Regrowth brought him back, but Investing all that in the healing meant that he didn't have magic elsewhere, and I guess it's a downside to healing. But, I mean, he still almost managed to bring that one to an interesting position and could have tied that one back up. But I think A Move Hacker with the full heavy cav rush played that well. Every single time Deathclaw landed, cavalry was right there for a full surround. Got great value out of at least the Horned ones. These ones are going to have, I mean, Spear Riders will have a ton of problems with the Royal Altar fights. They're a force of nature, man. 68 kills. But I was curious why Zach Bisane put them on his right flank. I think they would have been a lot more useful fighting the Horned ones and all the Cold One Riders and Carnosaur on the other side. But either way, yeah, A Move Hacker going to take that game, and we're at 2-1 now. So Zach Bisane up 2 games to 1. A Move can tie it up here in game 4, and we got to go to a map. So the next map is going to be Volchan Plains. And A Move saying Lumies are more useful than Hellblasters. I'm actually not a massive fan of Luminarch. It would have been good there to deal with the Carnosaur. And the Horned ones, obviously. I mean, it can kill 6 or 7 models with a good shot down the length of a Horned one line. But I don't personally like Luminarchs a whole lot. Not a terrible choice for Dinos, but they're just so squishball, man. It's so easy for flyers or for cavalry to get on top, keep it moving, and it's a lot of money to invest. And yeah, you can go Temple Hoff Luminarch, bring the Nut of Amontok, but be a little bit rough for you. You're in a situation where that thing gets swarmed and tied down, because it doesn't survive for very long, and it's a lot of money to invest. They might Gentleman's Agreement here. I like those. Makes for some fun matchups. Lord D's thinks Indie Pride looks like sea nanners. Look at that gorgeous mug. Sea Nanners was the guy I used to watch a lot back in the Call of Duty days. I was there pretty close to the beginning. I don't know if you guys watched Sean0728, Hutch's Yo Daddy. That was a long time ago. Those were COD 4 days, man. I stopped playing Call of Duty probably after Black Ops 1. I did play Black Ops 2, but not a massive amount of it. I played a ton of Black Ops 1. I remember the days of SR-71 Blackbirds and Chopper Gunners. I'd play Domination with my friends. I had like a 4.2 KD in Black Ops. And all we would do is all run SR-71s. And my job was just to kill and get kill streaks in Domination. So I would run SR-71. Whoever gets the Blackbird first and gets, I mean, full map vision. And then essentially when you get one Blackbird, you get all the Blackbirds. It was really busted. It was so dumb. You basically saw where the entire enemy team was on the map for the entire game once you got your first Blackbird. Because Blackbird works for everyone, and then everyone else gets their kill streaks, and then I would run Chopper Gunner Dogs and just slaughter people, get like 55 kills a game. It was so much fun. But yeah, I have not played any Modern Warfare, the most recent one. It actually looks pretty fun. Warzone actually looks really fun. I've watched some gameplay from Jack Frags and stuff, but the issue with that is the movement looks so weird to me. Like, it's so fast. It looks like they're all like Speedy Gonzales or Sonic the Hedgehog. A little bit too much for me. Enemy AC-130 above! Yeah, dude, the AC-130 was always so much fun. It was a good thing, at least in Black Ops, kill streaks wouldn't work towards your next kill streak. I mean, Blackbird did just because it told you where people were so you could kill them more easily. But if you got 50 kills with a Chopper Gunner, you're not getting your dogs. You have to get those with your gun, which is good. It was really dumb in Modern Warfare 2, whereas Harrier Chopper Gunner or Harrier AC-130 nuke. And you would just get 15 kills on Ground War with a Chopper Gunner, and then you just auto-win, drop the nuke. Really stupid. Horrible game design, but still really fun. So we've got... what do we have here? Why is everyone picking dwarfs? What's happening? I'm not seeing this much Dawi action in a really long time. I don't know why they are the meta in this particular tournament. No idea what's going on, but I guess we'll play it out. I did love me some COD 4. I played a lot of that. Gold-plated AK-47s. Red Tiger Camo M40A3 ACOG scopes. Zergriz montage is jumping off the roof, 720 no scopes. You know how we roll. Those are kind of the glory days of YouTube, honestly. Back when people were making montages with really edgy, like Anne Boleyn montage music. When your only friends are hotel rooms. Pain's a distant lullaby. People would have the silliest songs for that, man. You'd have a bunch of A Day to Remember playing too. Just super angsty, like 16-year-old music. Those were the days. You'd have the lens flare and someone running off a roof doing a 720 in slow motion. And then the echoing screams of 15-year-olds over the mic as someone hits a disgusting shot in S&D. Sorry for anyone who doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. You missed out a lot. Yeah. Let the bodies to the floor was before that, for sure. People started getting a little bit better music choices before then. Or after that. But yeah, like originally, like early 2006, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor was the montage song. Those were like all the first videos. Your first Counter-Strike montage on Source. 1.6. Oh, good times, good times. Disturbed, yeah. Alright, we might be getting Greenskins Dawi on Kolchan Plains. But we've already seen this go the Dawi's way. Dwarfs have had a pretty good time this tournament. They're 2-1. Lizardman showed them who's boss in the last time it happened, but Jack B. Sane will be rocking them here. Creatini, loved your Dawn of War 2 Elite Play Champion vid. Are we going to get some more Grey Knights? Well, here's the thing. So, ideally, when I'm playing DAO 2, I should be playing every faction. In Warhammer 2, I can play every race. The only one I think I'm atrocious at are Skaven. I don't know what it is. I cannot play Skaven. I am horrible at them. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Every time I play them, I get bashed on by anyone who's good. Like Aerocraft, Exact Be saying, doesn't matter who I'm playing. They will roll me if I'm Skaven. I just can't do it. Don't know what it is. In Dawn of War, I only know how to play, like, 3 factions. Well, that's not true. I play Space Marines. Chaos is my main faction. Grey Knights is probably my second main. And then, well, yeah, that's usually the 2 that I alternate between. I can play Space Marines. I have played Tyranids a few times. I'm not good at them. And I don't like their OST a whole lot. I like Eldar. But I can only play about like half the races. I've never played Greenskins on the game. Only played a little bit of Tyranids. So if I'm gonna play more, get some more variety in there, I gotta learn how to play the other factions first and learn their builds and everything. I'm a decent Chaos Space Marines player. I'll lose to like your standard dudes who've been playing that game for 8 years, obviously. I don't play 1v1s. I play for the 3s. The team battles are the most fun. But yeah, there will be more Dawn of War. There will be more Grey Knights, more Space Marines, more Chaos Space Marines. The thing I really want in Dawn of War 2 Elite mod, or any mod, I don't care what it is. I wish they would focus more, and it's easy to say it because I don't have to do the work. But I would love it if modders would work on more units per faction and maybe one more faction. It would be an awesome little boost. I don't expect it. It's a really old game. I'm surprised it's even still getting balanced at this point. But having a few more of the God-specific units on the Chaos roster, having a few more options on the Imperial Guard roster, the Nid roster, on the Eldar roster, there's so much that can be done. I mean, it's 40k. Like, having more full rosters would be sweet. I know that there was a time, 3 or 4 years ago where there were rumors that there was going to be a walker. What is the Grey Knight walker called? It's the one that's open, where you can, like, see the rider inside it. It's basically the Dreadnought equivalent, but it's not a Dreadnought. It's like an Imperial Knight or something? No, it's not an Imperial Knight. Can't remember the name of it. Whatever that was, there was rumors that that was in the works. That never came to fruition. But I would like to see more units for sure. I really like DAO too. It's just the community is really small and insulated, and everyone who plays it is a goddamn lord at the game. So winning is hard. And the learning curve is hard. And the way the game works, you can lose in like 5 minutes super fast, which makes for some annoying moments for sure. My nose itches. Dread Knight, thank you. Yeah. Grey Knight's Dread Knight. Yeah, it's like a big walker where you can see the rider inside. And I'm pretty sure they're full in their power armor. And it's not like a Dreadnought where you're interred within because you're super wounded. You're still alive and functioning and normal. Just like kind of climb up into it. Realistically, a much worse design than a Dreadnought, to be honest. You're a lot more exposed. But I think they might have force fields or something in the lore too. They probably have like some psychic emanation that prevents them from getting torn up anyway. They are Grey Knights. They're OP. Also, yeah, the voice acting and OST in Dawn of War 2 is some of the best I've ever heard in any game, period. Incredibly impressive, especially considering how old the game is. Like, I mean, there's a reason I use DAO 2 a lot in my OSTs for games. And in my videos, it's just awesome. The Eldar OST is awesome. The Chaos OST is awesome. It is all fantastic music. Let's take a long time to load in. Who is your opinion on best legendary lord? Best in what way? Like campaign, multiplayer, best fighter, best caster? Best is... depends on your definition of best. Best in Warhammer 2, best in the lore? What do you mean? I didn't hate Dawn of War 3. I didn't hate it, but I couldn't get into it. And it's a massive shame. Because it is a storied RTS. Imagine if we had gotten an amazing Dawn of War 3 that was still getting content to this day. Could have been possible in a different world, in a different future. Just didn't happen. Unfortunate. Imagine that game with like 10 races. Like Soulstorm. And better combat, better animations, and not quite so caricature-like, cartoony. Okay, Zach B. Same, commanding the Dawi, the forces of the stunty Grudge Gnomes. We have miners with blasting charges and Ekron's miners in the front ranks. Longbeards, Dragonback Slayers, Iron Drakes. He loves him some Iron Drakes, man. Against Greenskins, yeah, it's not a bad pick. There's a Rune Lord again. This time he has the Master Rune of Oath and Steel and Rune of Wrath and Ruin. And we're going to be going for a defensive geometry type formation. A little bit less wide than we saw from A Move Hacker against the Greenskins against Exploding Hamster. But yeah, 2 Iron Drakes, Dwarf Warriors, and that Rune Lord. So we'll see what the napalm spewing flamethrowers can do for A Move Hacker and the Greenskins. Can somebody explain to me why this has not been fixed yet? The 8-peak loonies are still called Night Goblins. I don't know why. When did this happen? Like, when Warhammer 2 came out, has it just never been fixed? Or was it one of the patches? They've just been called Night Goblins for forever. But they are the 8-peak loonies. They have their loons of 8 peaks. Their dwarf on a chain. There are Snotling Pump Wagons, which I think, yeah, if you're playing against Dawi, is the more cost-efficient, better pick than Orc Board Chariots. You can swarm the field with a lot more of them, and they'll deal like the same amount of damage. I mean, less charge bonus, obviously, but definitely way more cost-efficient. Orc Airboys, Doom Diver Catapults, and again, another artillery line to get those Dawi out of their box. A lot of Night Goblins, Orc Airboys, and the Lord is Grom the Paunch again on his Wolf Chariot. That's the only way he comes. The only flavor. Niblet's gonna give him a... Yeah, Niblet just gave him some chicken. Swallow that turkey leg whole, baby. Look at that. Look at that belly. That grotesque, distended, swollen belly. Can Grom carry it? They didn't do so well in the first game. It's an interesting formation from Zach B. saying here. We'll see if he sticks with the straight formation with those Iron Drakes. Already, Doom Diver's getting shot up by the cannons. Only one cannon, though. And there's something sneaky in the background. Why, hello. Yeah, they're good. It's a good unit in this matchup. Bonus for infantry, poison, armor piercing. A lot of mobility, too. What you want? Not a lot of melee defense, but you don't really pick them for great melee stats. You pick them for the killing power on the charge. But there is a bolt thrower as well, firing in on top of the Snoutling pump wagons. Take a look at those bad boys. I love this unit. Snoutlings are terrifying. If I saw a gaggle of them running towards me, I would literally poop my pants. Are they seen? Oh. Oh, this could get spicy. It could get very spicy. So, what I'm expecting from Zach B. saying here, while the Doom Divers rain in on the Slayers, is push up this front line of Dwarf Warriors. Give these Iron Drakes a little bit more space. I mean, right now, it'd be very easy for Snoutlings to just come right up the center and get it on top of them. And they're only 700, 750 gold, so it's not like that's particularly expensive either. Here we go. Big charge coming from behind. Rune of Breath and Ruin going down on them, but full charge into the cannon crew. Doom Diver's gonna friendly fire something now. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Slayers are there. Didn't get rid of the cannon. Maybe not worth. Good idea, but didn't work out incredibly well. That unit might just... Oh my god, they're running the wrong way! What are you doing? Snoutling pump wagons coming in on the Thunderers on this side. Dragonback Slayers are waiting. Here comes Grom. Here comes the Night Gombos. And look at all this sitting back. He's really only pushing forward on this side right now. Nice charge into the Thunderers, but took a lot of damage on the return. Grom is in here, though, and he could be on top of the chariot and deal a lot of damage. Here we go. Right into the flank of the Ekron's Miners. Look at that. Oh, my God. Severe damage. Cannon crew shut down immediately. Thunderers firing in on Grom. A lot of focus fire coming in, but he's got that regen, so if he pulls out, should be fine. Had a Fanatic charge coming in from the Longbeard's flank and did some damage to them, too. And very patient play from the Greenskins so far, just poking, prodding, not overcommitting, swarming, and waiting for the right moment to strike. Grom took a lot of damage there, but he's got regen and does have the lucky banner pop, that damage resistance 40% ward save. Means he won't take too much on the way out, at least. He's just kind of gonna chill. Thunder is firing on this side. It's the Orc Error boys. Remember, they have 70 or 80 armor, actually, and they have that bronze shield. High missile black chance, so they will need these rusty errors. And this is what you don't want if you're the Greenskins. Letting those Iron Drakes shoot you with impunity here. Gotta pull back the rusty errors, make sure that does not happen again, because one more volley will send them into the Nether Realm. Night Goblins coming in now. Squighopper shut down. Well, Zach B. Sane is layering this defense very nicely, and good volley coming in from the Iron Drakes too on top of the Night Goblins. Here comes Grom once again. Straight into Brace Longbeards. Very little damage on the way in there. Didn't even have a kill yet. Snoutlings are exactly where they want to be, on top of the Thunderers. Iron Drakes still spewing their alchemical fury into the Greenskins' front line. And all the artillery also online for the Greenskins. And this time, unlike in that game against Exploding Hamster, they should all be able to fire for the majority. Unimpeded, there's no gyrocopter to fly in and destroy them with steam gun fire. The Gork will fix it, slowing down speed, charge bonus, and charge speed of everything in an AoE. Not incredibly useful against Dawi, but might prevent the Iron Drakes from pulling away from the Goblins, which is definitely a nice little play there. Ekron's Miners blasting charges on top of the nasty Skulkers. and the Orc Air Boys continue to fire in. Grom on the hunt now, up to 29 kills. And the Rune Lord, well, he's quickly losing his support for being able to deal with Grom quickly. There are no Trollhammers, there are no Ulthar's Rangers, which means Grom should have a much easier time this battle. Oh, just insta-jibbing a huge swath of that Dawi battle line. Orc Air Boys racking up some good damage here. Wah has popped. And Iron Drake's making back some good value for sure. Maybe not this unit, but the other one certainly has. And 19 kills over there. Snarling Pump Wagons into the Ekron's Miners. They're going to get dragged down and die. Greenskins continue to push through. So the Dwarves have dealt with a lot of the Greenskins infantry. And what you might see here now is him trying to push forward and get rid of these Orc Air Boys. At least push them backwards so they're not firing. And Iron Drakes are really good in this capacity if they can stay alive. But the Doom Divers are focusing them down to 17 out of 21 models, have lost most of their HP. They're Dawi, so they won't rout super soon. But with a couple more volleys, it might be enough to shatter them. Yeah, they're getting really low. Zach should pull that unit back. He is, but they might rout off. Dragonback Slayers are on the hunt, and as we saw in that first game against the Dark Elves, they can do a great job shutting down range play because they are fast for a dwarf. 40 speed to the 31 of the Orc Air Boys. He pulls them over here, could start running after the Rusty Airs, after the Orc Air Boys, and shut down all the range play too. The artillery, well, there's only one left in this one. The Bolt Thrower is actually doing a great job of counter battering so far. Killed off 2 of the Hammer of Gork artillery pieces, while the Doom Divers are up to 36 kills and doing a number on the Thunderers in the rear. The Vindictive Glare from the Night Golem and Shaman. Dragonback Slayers are on the hunt now. Nasty Skulker's first round off on the Longbeards. They're shattered. And Grom is a force. He's at 72 kills. We're going into the late game in this one, boys. This might be the closest one we've had in the tournament so far. Good shots on the Dragonback Slayers. They do have the missile parry, the physical resistance rather. But they're going to be able to close the gap quickly. Already up to 91 kills. Here they come. Orc Air Boys aren't going to be able to run away from this. It'll be up to Grom to slow them down. Yeah, they're going to try to run, but they can't. As soon as they make contact, it'll be a slowing aura.
Bring the throng to the Groby Hall.
Yeah, minus 36% speed and 31 speed down. Oh, as soon as they land an attack anyway. Yeah, down to 19. Gork will fix it. Nice play. Nice counter play from A Move Hacker. Look at that. Now the Dwarfs are moving at 20 and the Orc Air Boys might be able to escape. Maybe. They're going to be able to close the gap because they're in charge range. Really interesting counterplay right there. Doom Divers are still shooting in. But this one also lost 2 of its 3 artillery pieces. And Grom beasting it up to 101 kills now. And might be able to charge this Rune Lord with impunity. I'd say Greenskins look like they might have the advantage here. I mean, Valsbar might be in favor of the Dwarfs by a little bit, but how do you kill Grom? With the Dragonback Slayers, I guess. He's starting to get a little bit low. You should probably get on this fight at this point. Don't want him routing. Orc Air Boys are getting chased off. Dragonback Slayers, watch that kill count just rise into the stratosphere. They were at 91, already at 120. Gonna kill off that full unit, and nothing to protect them here. Oh, it's a really close game. So Bouncemoor is in favor of Zach B. Sane for now. Remember, if he wins this game, he wins the tournament. The Thunderers are a problem for Grom too. Ooh, he's got his Lucky Bammer popped. Got the 40% ward save. Massive melee attack, but he needs to move. Needs to close these down. They're isolated. Gotta kill this unit off. If the Thunderers are able to fire in with impunity, Grom will not stand for long. That's really the only massive threat to him besides the Dragonback Slayers. So more cycle charging needs to be had with Grom the Punch here. I think he's noticed it now. And here comes a full unit of long beards. All the artillery getting swarmed by the dwarfs, but they really don't have a whole lot. Rune of Wrath Ruin! Slowing down Grom, 2100 HP. That should be 2 more volleys from these Thunderers. Watch how his HP drops here. Nicely played from Zach B. Sane. Can Grom close the gap in time? It's about 400 damage a volley right now. 300 to 400. Yeah, he cannot afford to be sitting around right now. God, he's moving so slow. Forced to turn around now. One more volley could maybe cause him to rout. No, he's going to be able to get in time. But took a lot of damage. Maybe unnecessarily. Dwarfs are looking strong over there. Where are the Dragonback Slayers at? Yeah, they've got 51 models left, 3,000 HP. Might be looking a little bit bleak for Grom. He's got to put in some serious work here if A-Move Hacker wants to bring this one back. Been well played from Zach B. Sane so far. A-Move Hacker's also played well, but his Bolt Thrower made back a ton of value. Killed off 2 full Hammer of Gork models, killed off 2 full Doom Diver models. That meant that a lot of the artillery prowess that came in... Remember, back in like Medieval 2, if you lost an artillery piece or a bunch of Janissary archers, for instance, you wouldn't lose ammo. If you only had 17 models left, they would fire the same amount of shots given enough time as a full unit. In Warhammer 2, it's not how it works. If you lose a ranged unit, you lose all that model's ammunition as well. Same with artillery, so that was a big factor here. Meant the dwarves didn't take quite as much damage as they should have. Remember, he has regen, he's weak to fire. 300 damage on that Iron Drake volley. And I'm not sure Grom's going to be able to carry this one, boys. Dwarfs might have it. They might go 3-1 in this tournament, and Zach B. Sane might go 3-1 in this grand finals as well. Not over yet, though. Just gotta play this close to the chest, play it conservative, and give Grom some time to regen. I imagine he's nowhere near the healing cap at this point. See? Got 1,000 left, so we can get up to 2,500 HP. Yeah, it's looking a little bit bleak. And with the Dragonback Slayers and the Longbeard still hunting down all the archers, and no melee infantry left, can Grom really carry the day here? Gonna be pretty challenging. They have wronged us indeed. Another grudge has been struck out, and yet the book remains full. The Damazkron will have another entry this day for all the Dawi that have died, and it's been most of their number. Here comes Grom. Can A-Move pull something out of the bag? Yeah, the Iron Drakes are just not taking much damage from those charges. He needs to hit him from the flank if he wants to deal a lot. Might be able to finish off the unit here now. And nothing too dangerous to Grom at this point. Lucky Banner is popped. Dude, if Grom can pull this one back, that might be the most legendary comeback ever. It's possible. And when you got 80 melee attack, 100 armor, and regen, that ridiculous stat line, he's definitely got a chance. These units are isolated right now. The Dragonback Slayers and the Longbeards are the biggest threat on the field for the Greenskins. Can Grom do something against them? He's getting really unlucky with those vindictive glares, man. They keep hitting terrain. Only 1 or 2 actual magic missiles hitting him at once. Balance bar has crept back. Take a look at that. I think when the Dragonback Slayers commit, that's when Grom needs to charge in from behind. He just needs to get rid of all this stuff right now. He's got to go in. I know he's scared about those Iron Drakes, but 4 models, maybe not the most important thing in the world. That infantry, because now he's not supporting his infantry is the problem. The goblins will quickly break, but if he can get a charge and then come back over here, might be able to deal with them. Dragonback Slayers coming in from the rear. Orc Air Boys will be able to get at least 1 volley in. Another Master Rune of Wrath Ruin. The Thunder is firing in. Look at that Bonsmar creep. He's wasting so much time over there. No, there's something he can do about it. Look at how slow he is. 23 speed. Meanwhile, his only infantry forces are being run over by the dwarfs. But he is delta splitting, and he is just wasting time in a good way for the Greenskins. He's just trying to make some time for Grom to get his way back over. 1 more volley coming in, maybe? Oh, Grom, what's happening? Okay, so, nice charge. This is a crazy game. It's swinging in favor of the dwarfs, though, for sure. 1,400 HP. Might be able to get back up to 1,800 or so before the healing cap kicks in. Everything's routing. Was popped. The Dragonback Slayers are a force. They're at 200 kills this game and continue to rise. MVPs for sure. Punching down all the archer play. Does Grom have an answer? There's nothing to support. And I think Grom doesn't have enough power to do so. He's a beast. But I don't think he has enough in the tank. Here comes the charge. Oh. An avalanche of Crimson. It's his finest work yet. 205 kills. He got like 15 kills on that charge, man. Now he does have to commit here. With the Gobos. There will come a point where Grom will not be allowed to cycle charge anymore. So we'll keep an eye on that. "15-minute battle, 230 models left for the dwarfs, 119 for the greenskins. They should be able to finish off these dwarf warrior and necron miner units. But again, right here, this beast of a unit, 213 kills and still rising. Another vindictive glare going in on the Rune Lord. That is dealing no damage, and this time Night Goblin Shaman has nowhere to go. He's gonna rout. Grom has to commit here. Yeah, he's not breaking any rules right now. He is engaging. He does have ranged tools, but it's still just not gonna be enough. Boo, 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 boo. Can Zach seal the deal here? Here comes Grom on the Wolf Chariot, that big bulbous belly flashing in the sunlight. That was a limp dick charge if I've ever seen one. My lord. Are they routing? Finally, they're routed. I give him a little bit of a warning. Still not doing anything wrong, but as long as the archers are firing and Grom is seeking out melee combat and the goblins are seeking out melee, we're good. But still gotta be careful. Nice charge into the rear of the Longbeards. And this unit's isolated now. I'm surprised he's committing so much to chasing off that Night Goblin. He could probably just send the Dragonback Slayers over. Or hell, even just the Dwarf Warriors at this point. This stinks indeed. Goblins are done. When are they gonna start shooting? There we go. They might be shooting now. Oh my god, the Night Goblin Shaman is fast! But not fast enough! Imagine getting chased by a bunch of stunty grudge gnomes with orange mohawks. What a life. What a world we live in. Oh, don't run into that tree. That's not the way. Yeah, he's definitely dead. That Night Goblin Shaman is super dead. Not a lot to micro at this point, man. It just comes down to the Longbeards and the Dwarf Slayers. I think these Air Boys should have enough time to get away now. And this is the problem with splitting like this. Investing so much in making sure that Night Goblin leaves, which is good for the balance of power. Once that breaks, this will swing even further. You just saw it creep a little bit further. Grom's in with the Longbeards, should be able to finish off that unit. And he is at the healing cap now. Orc Air Boy's charging into melee, and he'll go around the side for a rear charge. Getting close. Any move Hacker's fighting valiantly, man. But still, I think he might be running out of steam slowly. And slowly with slow motion, too. He's putting on that lag switch. He's hacking now, boys. We'll watch that for some cinematics. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We have a drop. Pulled the lag switch. If he drops here, it's definitely Zach B. Sane's win. 100%. Hopefully not, but it's looking like this might be a drop. Let me check Discord to see if someone drops. Oh, we're back! Oh my god, we're back. I did not think I was gonna come back. I don't know how I got so laggy. What the hell? Alright. Ground the Punch is still working these long periods over. Night Goblin Shaman will be chased to the edge of the map by the Dragonback Slayers. And now, finally, Dwarf Warriors and Runelord are coming back. He has 1,300 HP and 290 kills, man. I don't know that he should concede, honestly. He has a chance, a small one, but he does have a chance. Alright. Night Goblin Shaman is shattered now, finally. My lord, that took forever. This is really close, dude. 23 models left on the greenskin side. The only way Greenskins win this game now is if the Air Boys shoot all of their shots into the Dragonback Slayers. That is the only way. Grom will try to cycle charge here, and he will do a tremendous amount to these Slayers. But if they get a full surround off with the Runelord supporting, it's going to be bad news. And he does not have a lot of HP to work with. He does have the damage resist pop, so you got to go into melee now. Can't waste that buff. Full charge into the Runelord. Dealt no damage whatsoever. Orc Air Boys do need to shoot here. And honestly, they should be shooting at whatever they can. Yeah. With 2,600 health, down to 2,400. Getting interesting. I don't think there are any more Master Runes of Wrath and Ruin, which means Grom will be able to cycle charge while the archers fire. Once those archers are out of ammo, Grom must commit to the fight and stay there. Oh, that Runelord is really getting pooped on. Alright, they're finally getting some attacks in now on top of Grom, who's up to 304 kills. Honestly, A-Move Hacker is super, super lucky that his archers have been here the whole time. If they weren't here, he'd have to stick in melee and he would just die. Down to 1,000 HP. Now he's fully surrounded. Now he's getting chunked down. Grom's cleaving, but he's gonna rout. Yeah, that's it. That's gonna be army loss in a second here, I think. Runelord's gonna rout. Oh my god, it's insane. Game's insane. But Zach B. Sane with a 3-1 victory. That's a 21-minute game, my lord. I was not expecting that to last that long. But 3-1 for Zach B. Sane. Dwarfs well deserving of the victory, even under the threat of that 317 kill behemoth. Grom the Punch put the team on his back, but it was not quite enough. And the Dwarfs will take it. Wow, that was insane. That took a long time. So, MVP has to go to the Dragonback Slayers. They dealt with 2 or 3 full units of archer play from the Greenskins. They ran after the Night Goblin Shaman, killed him, and then killed Grom. Hard to get more value than that. Insane. from them. Grom was, of course, the MVP for the Greenskins, but was not quite able to carry it. That bolt thrower was kind of the unsung hero of this battle. Literally killed 4 artillery pieces, which dealt... I mean, it probably got rid of 2/3 of the artillery ammunition the Greenskins had to work with. It's a really big deal. Only 14 kills, but... I mean, think about how much damage Doom Divers could do if they fired another 8 volleys each. That could have swung it entirely. So, bolt throwers were kind of a sleeper pick right there, and they were great too. Yeah, Rune of Wrath and Ruin and the Iron Drakes combo with Thunders together. So good. And Zach B. Sane is our tournament winner, and he will make some money today. Well done. Yeah, well played to A Move Hacker, well played to Prussian Prince, and to Exploding Hamster, but Zach B. Sane is our tournament champion. But before we go, again, I want to say thank you to Tank for his sponsorship of the tournament. I have not clicked his links yet, but there was some trivia that he wanted us to do for Warhammer Fantasy, so if anyone wants to stick around for that, we'll take a look. Let me open this link here. I've not actually looked at it before. Here we go. How would this work? I have no idea how this works. I don't think we're going to do this. That looks really confusing. Let me see the other link here. Yeah, I think we'll skip that one. It's interesting. I like the idea, but I don't know how to work it on stream right now. All right, I think we are going to get Zach B. Sane his money pretty soon here. And I also believe Turin will be streaming relatively soon here too. Usually he streams around 3. I talked to him earlier. He said he had a stream plan. So if you want to go check out his stream after mine, feel free. I want to thank Zach B. Sane, Prussian Prince, Exploding Hamster, and A Move Hacker for the tournament today. We had some great games. And for the next one, we'll probably do some more special rules and figure out something to make it a little bit more exciting and interesting, a little bit more outside the box. Maybe Trials of Tzeentch, maybe no SCMs. We'll try and figure it out, but hope you guys enjoyed today, and I will see you all in the next video. Pride signing out for now, and remember, I might be streaming Slanesh beginning of the end times tomorrow. I will announce that if I do. We'll see you then. Peace out. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.